go.
Coming to you from the Radio for One studios in Franklin, Michigan. Welcome to the Detroit Cast.
Big fan. Big fan.
A show not just free of charge, but free of FCC regulations.
And what can we expect?
Surprises!
Engineered by Jay Timko and produced by Eric Fady. And without further delay, it's showtime. Please welcome the Detroit Cast. Here are your hosts, Mike and Jay.
Hey there. Welcome to the Detroit Cast on a Thursday. You got it. It says Wednesday, Wednesday. I wonder who wrote that.
I didn't write that. That was not me.
Wednesday.
That screams Biggie. I got to be honest with you.
I didn't write it.
No offense.
That was K-Dog.
It does scream you, though.
It wasn't.
All right. Well, welcome to the show. I am here. Jay is here. Biggie is here. Where's the poos? There she is here. And yeah, if you were paying attention closely, you heard our intro music was.
Means I was at band today.
That's right. It's tradition now. We had to start it over because Jay actually went to band camp.
Yeah, we
today
started playing the real song, and I was like, oh, wait. Russ went to band.
How'd they do?
You know, they're a sixth grade band.
Ooh, that doesn't sound good. That doesn't sound. I got to be honest with you. That didn't sound. Like.
Well, I'm used to hearing Manny's eighth grade.
Oh,
They play a bit more, have been recently, and so you go to six, and it's
yeah. Does it sound more like our intro?
They're better than that. Man.
I don't know,
They
man.
are better.
I don't know. That's a quality symphony right there.
I've said it many times. I'm very impressed by their teachers. So they have great potential. They've got a great teacher.
Do they like it? Do they like playing?
Totally.
Do they play gay instruments?
Russ plays the French horn.
Okay.
And Manny plays the trombone.
Okay. Yeah, they do. Okay.
What's not a gay instrument in
drums,
your view?
guitar?
Okay, it's fucking band. It's middle school band.
Did they choose their instruments or they just hand it out on day one?
No, they choose them.
They do.
But it's kind of it's just a real impulse kind of thing.
It's like, oh, that one looks cool.
Yeah, I like that one.
I'm going to play the oboe.
Totally. And
wait,
so Russ actually started on the trumpet, and then they needed some trumpeters to move to French horn, so he was one.
Yeah. Is he like? Do they have like chair positions, or is that like too?
No, they don't.
Correct nowadays. You don't want to offend
You're
anyone.
probably right, man. I didn't think about that, but they don't have first chair, second,
really,
third, fourth. I guess they know internally who the better.
Yeah,
they're always commenting like, "Oh, that guy, he's a loud player, but he sucks."
They're ragging on each other in band.
Yeah.
Oh man, I wonder if they'll keep up with it for.
I think Manny probably will. He's really
more artsy.
Yeah.
He's
the guy who'll sit down at the keyboard and just start tickling the ivories for fun.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but Russ, he's got more kind of fleeting interests in things, I can see him dropping it after a year.
Yeah, that's so weird to me that there are people on this planet that can just like look at an instrument
and figure it out.
Yeah, like
it is. It's amazing to me as well because I've got none of that, man.
Yeah. Like math, people can do that with. It's just weird the way they're wired.
Yep.
Anyways, how you feeling, E?
Much better.
That's great because I'm feeling like shit.
Oh boy.
Well, I don't know. I gave you guys forewarning that I could have maybe not shown up yesterday.
I know, whatever. Or whatever.
Well,
and it's going around. It could have been any number of people I came in contact with. I can't blame you, E.
Yeah.
Even though I've spent about, I don't know, 12 hours with you the last 2 days. So
yeah. I worried because I'm going out of town in a few days or a week, whatever it is. And it was like, oh, if E gets me sick.
It's a good chance, dude. That's right in that window.
I know it is.
That incubation period?
Yes.
Be just right for you.
Oh, that would suck. I'm going to see a newborn baby, you ass. Thanks, E.
I don't know. Well, your immune system. Just hope you have a better immune system than me, I guess.
How possibly could he have any immune system?
No
he
way.
Doesn't exercise. He doesn't leave his house to confront any germs that are out there.
That's a good point. Right.
So when he gets confronted with them, they dominate his body. How's he going to survive this?
Yeah, it's not looking good. It's not going to be. It will be a bad thing. I might expire.
Everything's stacked against him, E.
Yeah,
and then you present him with that,
and then you come waving that sickness in front of me.
He's a veritable petri dish.
just like the vagine.
That's right. Hey, speaking of vagines, a little matter to attend to before we get to the heart of the show today. I got a text from Beth.
No.
I know.
I'm not doing it.
What?
Oh, that. Never mind. Forget it.
What were you thinking?
What were you not going to do?
Nothing.
I'm trying to remember what it is that we.
Come on, continue.
Was it the calling somebody? Or?
Just read the text. Then
right.
Forget it.
Son of a bitch
We'll
stepped into a landmine.
We'll
and we're
come
gonna
back to it.
All right.
We'll trick him
For
back
the
into
record, she says, I don't eat the mic because I'm hesitant to be too overbearing on the show, since there always seems to be negative criticism associated with my presence, as proven by said email. And I don't want to try.
Rabbit ears back.
Yeah, I know. It sounds like somebody really.
And I don't want to try and seem like a fourth host, quote unquote. And tell Jay, I just don't flaunt them like some people. So I guess next time I'll put on my best attire and just sit on the floor next to Eric so everyone can see my breasts.
She's referring to my question.
There were two things in that email, in that text. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I called her out for not talking into the mic.
Yep.
So she explained that. Okay. But
and then she
I don't know what to say about the 34C.
It
doesn't sound like he's still buying it.
Again, there's nothing wrong with smaller chests. I'm not saying,
saying,
gee, you're not attractive unless you have big boobs. Not at all.
I'm telling you, as someone who's shopped for those brassieres.
And then returned said brassieres because they're too big. You said
bloomers.
it.
Those were bloomers. It was an accident.
Return said brassieres.
It was an impulse. And I bought a 36C. That's why I had to return the brassiere.
You don't remember shit like that. Don't pull that out and claim it now.
I do.
There's no way your memory could serve you that well.
I fucked up my girlfriend's titty size. I remember it. I didn't go get an A cup or a D cup. I knew that I was I had like a 50-50 chance, 34, 36, and I couldn't remember. I wasn't going to call her. And so I was just kind of gauging it. I was like, this feels like.
Well, the 34, 36, that's the around their chest,
right?
How barrel chested they are.
Yeah.
So the C cup. I mean, you doing this with your hand. That's
where I ran into a problem.
No, I think you're correct because she's not a C. You did run into a problem.
You take this up with her. I'm not going to wave this flag for you. I'm not fighting this battle. You take it up with her, and all I know is my experience in brassiere shopping for her at Christmas time or whatever, unless everybody's changed their sizing.
Brassiere.
And then lastly, she says, and I just stopped and went out of my way to hold the door for two male nurses who didn't even pause their conversation to bother with smiling or saying thank you. So don't say it's all we girls who feel entitled and aren't chivalrous.
Okay, gay guys too.
I said, my response was a very quick, two male nurses. That still counts as holding the door for two ladies.
Totally.
No offense. I want to apologize for that last comment.
Out there.
That was
the
over
Gaylord
line.
Fockers.
I feel bad about that.
They could be guys who wanted to be doctors, but just thought that this was a better way to have more, bedside manner, more contact with the patient day to day, kind of like Fokker did.
You don't believe that?
No. You just never know, Mike. You can't jump to conclusions like that.
Yeah.
It's just bullshit that they wouldn't say anything as it were. Did we suggest it was all girls that.
It's funny though, because Brad wrote in an email today along the lines of this. Hello, lovers. I'm a day behind listening, but I just heard you guys talking about holding doors for women and not getting a thank you. While that is rude, what I find much more infuriating is when a woman is 3 to 5 steps ahead of you entering a door and she allows the door to just slam in your face without concern. That's a great point.
That is a good point.
That is great. I can't believe we didn't think of that other side of it because that happens all the time too.
Yeah.
Chicks, open your eyes,
I almost pointed this out and I let it go too, but I think it's worth note, something small that I've picked up on lately. I've had the door dropped in my face by all races and people. I've held the door open and had all races and people ignore me, but I noticed that I don't know if black people don't tend to like me very much, but I never get a thank you out of black women. Does anyone else notice that? Or is that just me?
Yeah, it's sort of like maybe like a gaydar. You've heard of that? Maybe they have some kind of radar that
racer. they know I'm just a dick or something. Yeah. I don't know why I picked up on that, but I'm like, God, this is weird. Here I am, helpful, being a guy holding the door, and it's like right on through, and I just want to trip them.
That's what Brad said. He wants to kick him in the back of the knees.
Yeah. Why is that so infuriating?
Jay, you can't.
I don't know, man. The poos. Oh, you can't put a piece of paper.
Your business documents. Yeah. Anyway, dare I say a big show today? Got a lot to get to. We got an Ask Eric segment we'll get to later on. Actually, it includes maybe.
It's been a while since we did one.
It has been. I think I've got an Ask Jay segment as well, and it's kind of more an Ask Gab segment, but
Okay.
since she's not here, I'm gonna
handle
defer
it.
to you, and hopefully you can handle it. We got a cross dresser to get to. Interesting spin on that one. The Mars One finalists. We got a
we
guy
talked about
speaking
that,
out.
that crew of people that's being put together to go to Mars with a one-way ticket.
Yeah, there's some interviews that are going on that have, one of them in specific was some physicist, who's talking about what's really going on there. It's funny. Then we got a nude sunbather, bathroom noises, a vice principal in some hot water, Michael Phelps, the Arizona shooter, all kinds of stuff to get to today. But I guess we got to start with Tunisia and what's going on there. I don't know. These stories don't even shock me anymore.
No, that was my kind of take as well. Like, okay, this happened in Ottawa, I don't know, 5 months ago.
Yeah.
Then it happened in Paris. Now it happened in Tunisia. Just where's it going to happen next?
Yeah.
A couple of these, a duo of shooters, I guess, approached a tourist bus. And
I think it
just
was
opened fire.
5 or so, and they killed a couple of them. They think that 3 at the time of doing this show anyways, there's still people on the loose. But we're talking, of course, about a terrorist attack that left 17 tourists dead. A couple gunmen, they say, hunted down foreigners, and they're calling it Black Day for Tunisia. All 17 victims were foreigners who were deliberately targeted as they exited cruise ship buses by the museum in Tunis. Tunis, is that right?
Tunisia.
Tunis, Tunisia. Okay. 2 gunmen entered the museum and took 30 more tourists hostage before police swarmed the building and killed a terrorist in a shootout, which also claimed an officer's life. So they know not to even screw around. They're not going to wait out and negotiate. They just kind of stormed the building. 22 people killed in all, 17 tourists, as I mentioned. Secretary of State John Kerry said Washington, and this is great news, they condemn it in the strongest possible terms, today's deadly terrorist attack.
Problem solved then.
That's
So,
great. I'm just glad to hear that. I was worried about that. I really was.
whether we were in some sort of agreement or
Yeah, I didn't know. You never know. I mean,
Didn't
were
know
they
what
going
our
to
position
flip
would be,
and,
right.
and like fuck Tunisia? I was waiting, like this tweet could go either way. Are we going to say fuck Tunisia, or are we going to condemn the deadly terrorist attacks? And I'm glad that all of Washington as a whole has agreed to condemn it. So that's great news out of Washington today. The terrorists, they say, fired randomly as the people got off the buses. As they fled, they were hunted down.
kind of sounds like the mall attack.
Yeah.
In
Nigeria? Was that in Nigeria?
damn it, I can't remember. I don't think
He-
so, because
he
we
watched
would have known that Good
What's
Luck
up?
Jonathan was on it,
The mall attack. Was that Nigeria?
dude.
I don't remember.
Google that. It'll
Okay.
it'll come to us.
Mall
Fuck.
attack, terrorist. Fuck. I think you're right. It's not Nigeria.
It's not.
But it's going to piss me off as soon
Yeah.
as he says it, because I watched the special on it.
Yeah, you did. You showed me the special.
Twitter accounts for ISIS are up, and they're just gleeful
Loving
with
it.
all this. They've sent tweets out.
Favoriting each other, retweeting
How-
each other.
They sent a tweet out hours.
What did the poos do?
I think she's got your business folder filled with lovely documents.
Kenya?
Damn it, poos!
Kenya, right?
Kenya. Yeah. The mall attack in Kenya. Sorry, Jay. They sent a tweet out just hours before this happened.
What an
I know
asshole.
she's an asshole, kind of a dick move.
How old's the
Poos.
dog again?
5.
She's old enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe
It's like 35 years old in
yeah.
people years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect.
They sent an hour, just hours before the gunman opened fire at this popular museum. They sent a tweet out, said, "Coming, good news to Tunisia's Muslims and a shock to the disbelievers and the hypocrites, especially those who claim to be cultured."
Oh,
Yeah. In other words, here it comes.
that's chilling.
Isn't that chilling?
Yeah.
But, it's weird because, yeah, if this is a first time event, you'd be horrified. But now it's just kind of like par for the course. And there's more coming. That it's
Totally.
not going to stop.
Yep.
And what do you do about it? I mean, this is not
There
something.
needs to be a wider spread war to
Yeah.
stamp this shit out.
Yeah.
And keep doing it for generations moving forward.
Like people,
Bottom line.
people started to learn firsthand over here when it was like, well, we've got a bounty on Osama bin Laden's head of $25 million, and nobody fucking claimed it.
Yeah.
In other words, they're not interested in money. They believe with everything about them that this is getting them into some paradise with their virgins and all that shit. So they're not going to be bought off. And when you're willing to, like, when you're absolutely a martyr for your religion like that, what's your incentive to not be a kamikaze guy?
Right.
I mean, there is none. So
Tough enemy to defeat for sure.
yeah, like what's the threat? What's the repercussion of that? Your bomb doesn't go off. Yeah, like that's the only thing that could go wrong there. I mean, you go in with the idea that today I get to go meet my maker. This is going to be the greatest day ever. Like it's joy for them. So how do you fucking combat that? Ship them. That's how you do it. Say, well, you'll go out on our terms, motherfucker. That's how we boom. We're thinking of plan attack on museum. Boom! Game over. Ooh, I'm sorry. That's going to leave a hole in the desert. Ooh, I'm sorry. Next we go after trades. Boom! Ooh, I'm sorry. That's going to leave a wider hole in the desert. And then hopefully at that point they catch on. I don't know if that counts to where they're trying to get to, but.
Right. Yeah. Does that send them there?
I don't know. And then it's not like we're not filled with our own assholes over here. We got a bank robbery, which is hilarious, by the way.
Oh, I love the spin on this one.
A little guy, not quite our wee
Yeah.
but a little guy dressed in a Star Wars character outfit robbed a bank, sort of by the South Carolina, North Carolina border in Pineville. He was dressed as Darth Vader, and we've seen the Darth before rob a bank with just the mask on and then kind of throwing dark clothes on. This guy went full out
chest plate and everything, right?
Yeah.
Cape,
gloves. He had the gloves on. I don't know if he had the voice box thing, but he did not wield a saber.
Yeah.
No, what? That's not.
I know. Isn't that kind of bullshit? He did not have his lightsaber. And Darth's was red, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. What kind of hard times are they falling on where
The Empire is. Boy.
I mean, seriously, if Darth is resorting to robbing, he's the Lord Vader. Seriously, Lord Vader's robbing banks. He couldn't get a stormtrooper with a rifle. I mean, Jesus, it's crazy. This guy was 5 feet tall.
Darth Vader can't be 5 feet tall.
I know,
dude.
that was almost the most insulting. They shouldn't even make costumes that size. It's either like for 5-year-olds, but you can't have a 5. I shouldn't be able to wear a Vader outfit.
Agreed.
You know, like you're borderline. I think Vader was like, I mean, he towered over people.
6'5" or something, wasn't he?
Yeah.
I think as long as you're 6 foot, you could be Vader. But
I don't know, dude. You don't want some stormtrooper walking up at 6'3" and towering over Vader. That just doesn't seem as intimidating.
Well, stormtroopers aren't going to be 6'3".
Why not?
It's not going to happen.
We
They
know
should
that.
have midget
We know Luke was a
stormtroopers.
little short to be a stormtrooper. Remember that line in the first one? Aren't you a little short to be a stormtrooper?
No, I
That's
don't.
what Leia said to him when they first met.
Really?
Yeah,
God
you're right.
damn it!
I don't
Right.
remember.
You guys
that.
ever seen the movie?
I've seen it many times. I don't remember the line. I'm not a nerd. I don't remember.
That is Jay's clearly your thing. Like you keep
It's not.
every time.
I don't even approach the nerddom that
I
is
know,
out there regarding
I'm sure that
these
you
movies.
don't. I'm
I
sure.
I only know a very small bit.
I'm sure that you don't, but clearly out of the stuff that
It was
you
a
have
big
knowledge,
part of my childhood, man.
Clearly out of the stuff
Yeah.
you know about, you know the Star Wars very well.
I love that shit, man.
Yeah.
As I drink out of my stormtrooper mug.
Yep. It's so funny. I hate drinking out of that mug. It feels odd, but you love it. It works for you. You know what I was thinking? The more I read this story and saw the video, is it possible that's a chick in there?
Yeah.
I mean,
Jinx.
5 foot tall.
Or a really young guy.
Yeah, I mean, it could be a young guy. It could just be a wee
Think
dude.
it could
but
be like a 14-year-old or something.
I don't know. They got away with thousands of dollars. Jumped into a Suburban, so they were driving.
Uh-huh.
It was like a gray or silver.
Did he act
four-door.
alone? Or did he have a driver?
Yeah, but driving
I'm not
doesn't
sure.
mean that. I mean, they could be young and still.
Steal a car.
Right.
Yeah.
15.
Yeah. But I don't know. Could it be a chick?
Sure.
Ever? I don't know.
Did it run away with like bow legs? Kind of like a fidget?
No, could have been a wee guy on stilts. You mean? Is that where you're going? Or
Oh,
just
yeah. I mean, it could have been a tall fidget. 5 feet. They're estimating.
yeah? That's not. No, that's way too big for a
Yeah,
fidget.
you're right.
Yeah, that won't work. Have we got any takers? By the way, has anyone been able to catch
I don't
one?
think so. No.
Because probably our greatest window outside of the wrestling thing was
Well, I set
St.
some
Patty's
traps.
Day.
Have you guys been setting the traps? I've been voting for
Yeah.
the podcast awards and setting fidget traps.
I almost took my
pretty much
hand
all
off
week.
with the one you put out back.
Yeah.
I was trying to change the food. Someone got in there. I don't know what it was, but I tried to change it, and that claw came down and almost cut my damn hand off. So
Yeah, we put all little wee food, like
Yeah.
little mini carrots
yeah.
and
Yeah.
a Lunchable.
hmm
Lunchable.
There was a cracker with a piece of cheese on
Lunchables.
it. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a good setup. I think it's going to work well.
little mini wings, bagel bites.
Full
It's funny,
pizzas to him.
The pizza Lunchables, like if you didn't have a microwave, that was the funny thing about the pizza Lunchable.
I've never
to
seen a
me, like-
pizza Lunchable.
Oh, there are pizza Lunchables.
Yeah,
Really?
But you had to have a microwave, kinda, or else you're eating cold pizza.
I could see Mike eating the shit out of Lunchables.
No, yeah. I
Remember-
didn't mind the crackers and cheese one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I could just see you like going to the store and buying like 40 of those,
Yeah.
and that's just kind of like what you eat for 2 weeks.
Yeah. No, I've never done that, but I have done that with other foods.
Yeah, with frozen pizzas or something.
Yeah. There was certainly a day, not so much anymore, but
Well, if anything, now it should be more so. Those things they're not that expensive. It'd be relatively cheap to eat Lunchables.
yeah.
All right, dude, I thought they were. I thought they were really expensive.
Are they?
Yeah, for what you're
he doesn't
getting.
know. He hasn't grocery shopped
For what you're
ever.
getting, you're paying
That's
a lot.
not
You're
true.
paying a lot
I
for
have
packaging.
twice lived on my own, by the way. So
Settle down,
I
settle
have
down.
grocery shops.
No, shit like that tends to be really
Maybe-
expensive
okay,
because
maybe
you're
it
paying
is.
for the packaging
Oh, God.
and just the convenience of being able to throw that in, I guess, your
Oh,
kid's
that's
lunch.
the point. Yeah, that it'd be more inconvenient to have to make the sandwich.
Probably go and buy a
Mhm.
whole freaking thing of crackers and cheese for
Yeah,
the price of
I gotcha.
Yeah.
one
Definitely.
Lunchable.
Yeah, you're probably right. Actually,
And then staying with
Dumb.
the armed suspect, we got the guy in Arizona. That was the other big story. Today
Another
and
gunman.
yesterday. Another gunman. Yeah, crazy mother. In Arizona, he was apprehended. They caught him. Good looking guy.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
what? Now wait a minute. Wait a minute, dude. This is bullshit that you'd be allowed to suggest it's a good-looking guy.
I mean, good looking guy in the fact that he's got skin and head tattooed on his eyebrows.
Oh, you asshole. I got
He's got
For someone who fancies himself such a I don't know, professor of
satire.
satire, he cannot identify
Sarcasm.
satire or sarcasm.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
It is. What did he do yesterday that was like,
I don't know. I threw something out there and he
about
just
you. It was about picture. How about you and your man tits? And then, oh, I get the same criticism. Somebody says I look better shaved.
oh yeah, I was
Yeah,
reading the
yeah.
Facebook post.
yeah.
And I'm like, and
Was
he's
that-
like,
that was in Brit-
That's not the same thing. Man tits are looking better shaved. Ah!
I'm like, fuck E.
Really? Did
Have
you
I-
think he was being
During the past year, have I ever said anything that's not sarcastic to your ass? Ever?
Well, I'm sure there's been times where you didn't. There has to have been. That
Not-
time you
not
yelled at
really.
me or whatever.
if you're gonna gamble though, just assume he's being a smartass, as am I. No
Well,
matter
I
what
don't-
the discussion is.
I think that
I just love how he fancies himself
I
so
am.
sarcastic.
I am.
He always when he tells someone about what his comedy
that's what I was
style is.
describing it as.
I'm very sarcastic.
I would
Dude,
describe
you are
my-
so far from sarcastic. You're a funny dude, but way funnier in a different way.
I would describe
Yeah.
it as a
You're-
dry sarcasm.
Dude, you
No,
are fucking
no.
out there. You're loud.
you're very
fucking.
blunt
You
and-
are what you are. You're honest. You are anything but sarcastic.
yeah, sarcastic is the furthest thing from your
that's
sense
not
of humor.
just not. When I'm with my friends, I'm
I-
more sarcastic.
Oh, really? You're with your friends right now, dickhead. And we're telling you to your face, you're not sarcastic.
I am off the mic with my friends in social settings.
Oh my god, that was a big moment, Mike. We just called E our friend.
I know. I was trying to butter him up a little bit. Like you would never. You don't come down and say, yeah, Jay, it's a sharp look with that beard you got going there. When you're being a sarcastic asshole, you go, wow, you grew a beard over the weekend. Like you're very direct and pointed,
Yeah.
but
no,
you're not.
but that
Look stupid,
Whatever. You guys
fuckhead.
don't see
Yeah,
it
you look
when I'm
dumb. Why did you grow that thing? Like there's razors.
you know
like,
what?
You don't have to grow
When
that.
I'm with my friends,
There's
it's a
nothing
different humor.
subtle about you,
Okay, well,
dude.
there's different humor when I'm with
And
my
granted,
friends.
you're a funny
Whatever.
dude. I'm not questioning that at all. But to fancy yourself as this
I don't do
subtle
it.
type humor is just,
I don't do it here.
Okay.
You. So this is a character you're
Yeah.
playing here.
No, I have two.
It's two different lives.
I have two different.
One with TCG and
Yeah.
one with
when
us.
I'm with TCG.
When Professor E
when-
leaves here, boy, he goes into fucking sarcasm
when,
mode.
when TCG and Chubbs and Matt are hanging out, it's a very sarcastic group and
No.
dry.
No,
Yes,
they're
it is.
being sarcastic and you're
No.
being Big E.
Yeah,
No,
You're bringing full Big E.
dude, I've seen you in every setting that life has to offer, and you've never been anything other than exactly what you are every day.
I will. Whatever. We'll have to agree to Agree to disagree, I guess.
What's that mean?
Disagree to
never
agree.
There you go.
Yeah, there, it's better. Anyway, this handsome guy.
Yeah.
Did you get it? Because he had skin head tattooed on his forehead.
Well, I didn't see that, to be honest.
He had
fair,
88 tattooed under his eye.
What
too.
does that mean,
Jr.?
E?
For Dale Jr.? Is that what is it?
Think skinhead.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know what is that?
I mean, I wouldn't have known either if I didn't just hear it.
Yeah, you
but
would
it's
have.
Heil Hitler. It's 8 represents H. The
Oh,
eighth
okay.
letter
A,
of the
B,
alphabet.
C, D, E, F, G, H.
No, but-
So
eighth
you-
letter.
I didn't
So
know
Heil
until I
Hitler.
heard it.
it could have been a Dale Jr.
I-
tattoo.
No, it couldn't have been.
You could take that. No one was going to call you out on it. I certainly wasn't. Heil Hitler, though. So if you get, if anyone wants an 88 tattooed under their next to their eye, some people will know what that means.
It's a huge Mike Williams fan.
Dale Jr.
Dale Jr. twice. Isn't Dale Jr. number 8?
He used to be until he went to Hendrick Racing in the 88. The funny thing. Well, never mind. You
No,
guys,
what's the funny thing? We love
thing.
funny things.
Yeah.
You guys won't find it funny.
I'm
No,
sure some of our listeners then will go.
If anybody actually watches NASCAR, the deal was he changed from 8 to 88 when he went to Hendrick Racing, and he had all these commercials that said it was going to be double the number, double the wins, and he hasn't. He's won like 2 wins since he's changed. Like so, it
Oh,
didn't
no, that was
happen
good.
at all.
That was funny.
Well,
that was
it'd be funny if you were a listener. Although most people listen like Dale Jr. because they think he's the man because his dad died, but he sucks.
I
case.
think he's the man because his dad died.
I'm telling you, most
Either way,
NASCAR
I know who he is, and that was
Right.
funny. You were right. I'm glad you pointed that out.
Sounds like he's beaten your favorite driver here and there.
No, he
'Cause
hasn't. That's the
there
funny
seems to be some
thing. No,
bitterness.
he actually
This is
hasn't.
Jeff Gordon was for a long time. Jeff Gordon.
Of course it was.
What driver wasn't Jeff Gordon?
It was when I met you. Jeff Gordon
Never
was your.
has been. my
Yes.
driver. Never.
I
Casey
told-
Kane.
That's
It was
right.
Casey
Big
Kane or
man love
Bobby
for
Labonte.
Casey Kane. That's what
I
he's
have
always said
never
to
been
me.
a Gordon fan.
Dude,
Never. The number 9 tattoo is a Casey Kane
I
number
know
9.
you can be fans of more than one. I could swear, dude, you were a.
Never.
When I met you, I remember specifically thinking, "Oh wow!"
If
of
there's
course
one
you're a
thing,
Jeff Gordon
no.
fan.
If there is one thing in my fucking life I know about, I don't watch it anymore. But for a period, I would be NASCAR. I pull for him once in a while now, but I've never been a Gordon fan.
Well, so we're getting closer to the truth. You pull for him.
Yeah.
Sounds like a fan to me. But what do I know? I don't watch it, so what would I know?
You don't. So.
Anyway, this guy is accused of gunning down at least 6 people. One of them died in a shooting spree across a Phoenix suburb. Victims were shot Wednesday morning at 4 locations, including a restaurant and a hotel. The suspect, he was described as bald, white, in his 40s with tattoos on his neck. I think he's got danger
Nice.
tattooed across his neck, like really big.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was wearing black shirt and shorts. They think he was acting alone. The first shots were fired at 8:40 in the morning. 3 people discovered in a hotel room with gunshot wounds, and one of them was dead. There were 2 chicks in there who were alive. This screams drug deal gone bad. That's exactly what this sounds like. And then once you've done that, once you've gone that far and you're on the run, anything that gets in your way is going to be dealt with. So I don't know. Doesn't sound good, though. He carjacked a teacher in a parking lot, drove the stolen car. Shortly after, police got a call about an attempted home invasion. Officers responded, found a man suffering from a gunshot wound there. He's expected to recover. He carried on, critically wounding another man described as a maintenance worker. So anywhere he's going, he's just wielding this gun. What a monster. He's been in and out of jail his whole life.
Sure.
Drug and, robbery stuff.
Anybody with facial or neck tattoos like that so prominent, I think you're pretty much just living in the moment, right?
Oh yeah.
Not a lot of thought to a 401k or anything like that.
No.
Building up your retirement nest egg.
No, especially with Heil Hitler and skin head.
Yeah.
He doesn't have eyebrows. He just has skin and head, each representing an eyebrow.
God,
And then-
the absence of eyebrows is so weird.
It is.
But then, as we talked about, the presence of eyebrows is weird. It's
Mhm.
just strange that we have these little pieces of hair going across there.
Hair on our heads is weird.
Yeah.
Hair in general is weird.
Ugh.
The fact that we there's a level of respect for people with foolish heads of hair.
Right.
Like
You're right.
It's
Like,
so weird.
Yeah,
it's
it is.
nothing you can control
No.
other than now there's nowadays I guess
They
some
haven't-
of this
they
stuff,
haven't
but
nailed
that,
that.
I don't
Hair
know,
almost is the only thing you can control about your appearance. If you think about it, obviously
no,
balding you
no,
cannot.
that's what I meant.
But
Yeah.
it's funny how much goes into appearance anyway and looks. Like what
Hair,
what,
you're right.
what do you're saying somebody's attractive? Like, it's total dumb luck if that person is what society says is attractive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so hair is the one thing you can sort of manipulate, and you can
And
sort
honestly,
of try to do something with, usually.
And honestly, Jay, you're right. It's all like, yeah, you can get in shape a little more or a little less, but honestly, even that really, I think even if you're in shape or not, if you take the same person, most people will find them, unless they just gain, 200 pounds. But you go 20 pounds either way, like on you, I don't think, and most people would find you the same way, I think. You know what I mean?
Where are you going with this?
What you said, I guess. I don't know. Fuck me. I wish I would have stopped talking. Can I just?
So everybody's saying that too. Everybody's saying that. It's weird. No, you're fine.
I just
relax.
I don't want to talk anymore.
No,
You're right. No, you're right though. But my point was, you're right. It's just bullshit thing. Hair is the only thing.
Hair is just silly. It's just dumb, but it represents some level of like, wow, he's got a really full head of hair.
You're right about that.
Why does anyone give a shit? It's not something anyone can really control.
Yeah.
Why does anyone care if somebody's tall versus short? It's weird.
It's weird.
Yeah, how society judges like that. That's good. That's bad.
That's not so good.
Well, why would you be in a business meeting and say like, "Oh, that guy's bald"? I don't know.
When was the last time we had a bald president? I'm sure there have been, but for the most part, you think of him, it's like Bush had hair, Obama full head of hair, Clinton full head of hair. You know what I mean? Like could have absolute chrome dome, the guy with a donut shape around his head,
Eisenhower?
get up there.
I'm trying to.
I don't know.
Eisenhower had the male pattern baldness, didn't he?
Maybe.
Yeah, but God, Reagan had that nice dude.
Yeah, he had that sweet fucking
yes,
wave.
that freaking greasy kind of.
Under Googling the last president that was bald, it was Dwight Eisenhower, is what shows up on Google. Now that doesn't.
I wonder if there's anything to that people just like, because they do all these tests and like, oh, see how you're trending here. Let's see how you're doing in the polls here. And
that's why they say Christie doesn't have a shot, because he's fat. You know?
Yeah.
But obviously, in the way past, we've had bigger presidents, and Clinton was big for a while. If not the whole time. Yeah. But sure, that shit makes a huge difference.
Which doesn't that speak poorly on society? What if Chris I mean, that's so fucking trivial.
Yeah.
Like, imagine if some guy's just a brilliant mind, could do great things for the country, but people look at it different.
Just yet another reason why politics is just so tiring and ugh.
Yeah,
because it's so superficial and
it is. I love that I don't know if you've ever seen it, or watched Jimmy Kimmel at night. He does a bit every once in a while.
Cable, but
it's on ABC, so you don't really.
Well, my
cable,
HD antenna doesn't really work,
right?
Anymore.
But you do have spectacular cable.
9
Whatever.
seconds.
We digress. He does this thing like Man on the Street, where he'll send like a reporter out on the street and interview people about fake news. And he'll be
so great.
Oh, they'll just act like it really happened and see people's reaction
and get people's reaction, and they'll be like, hey, we're
the power of suggestion, right?
Totally. And it's like they'll be talking to men, women, older, younger, black, white, whatever. And obviously it's edited for TV, so they probably they
pick
maybe
the worst of
them. But it's so funny to see people where it's like, hey, President Obama, what did you think of seeing him out on the front lawn with 2 earrings today? What did you think of that? And it's like, there's almost this, and it's like, yeah, I thought that was a little odd, but he's kind of a younger guy and kind of hip, so I guess it's okay. And
wow, that's frightening, dude.
It is, and it's like, well, when he was given his press conference and he addressed it, did you think that was appropriate? And it's like, I mean, like I said, it was a little odd, but I did. Where were you when you were watching? I was in my living room, and I caught it this morning on the news. And it's like, what the fuck, And they'll ask almost like the most ridiculous questions you could ask. I'm trying to think of
what is
example.
That urge to not want to be caught sounding dumb and uninformed.
That's what I think.
So you're like, okay.
Like, why would someone be sticking a mic in my face to get my opinion
if
about
it didn't
something
already happen, or if it isn't true?
Am I the only one not in the know? So they just kind of roll with it, and they end up making themselves look like total assholes. But I can't imagine the scenario where someone could do that to me and go, hey, Obama showed up with 2 earrings, one in each ear. What'd you think of that today? And it's like, I would go, what? Seriously? No.
Yeah, but you're very, very plugged in day-to-day happenings.
But not just that, but even if he wasn't, do you think I think he's talking about his personality. You would never just like.
Well, it's I think that same piece of psychology that we've talked about in terms of you'd never admit to a crime you didn't commit. It's probably that same kind of play.
Yeah.
In a different form or context.
Because it's absolutely, without a doubt, for fact, something they did not see.
Yeah.
But they're totally going along with it and agreeing to it.
Wow,
it didn't
dude.
actually happen. It's the weirdest segment, but it's really funny to see people do that. What were you gonna say?
Oh, nothing. I was going to say, according to this, there has been 7 quote unquote bald presidents.
I'd like to
Now,
know their
what's-
definition of bald.
Well, that's the
Like Rutherford B. Hayes and shit like that.
Well, that's the funny thing. One of them actually says Gerald Ford, which is obviously
Yeah, he was thin.
that's
but-
what. Yeah, but I mean, yeah, they're all dude. Every one of them is way back. Like none of them are present day. They're all ones that I barely would remember.
It's so weird.
Yeah, how importance is assigned
Like
to
John
hair.
Adams.
Hair.
I've said it before, man. I wish you could just like pick a hairstyle and then you'd have that for like 8 years
Or for life.
or life. That'd be fine.
Yeah, but dude, that is such a tough decision to spring on a young mind. Like,
Yeah,
could you imagine
Jay.
being stuck with a mullet for 80 years?
You're right, man. At what point would you want to make that decision? Certainly not at 16, 17.
No,
18.
you shouldn't be allowed to.
Yeah,
You should
you
probably have to wait until you get to like 30.
It's like, yeah, I
35.
don't have my hair license yet. My parents are gonna, make me wait till I'm 21.
They're co-signing for me at 18, but
Once I get it, fuck it, dude. I'm keeping it long.
down to my ass, bitches. Fuck, man, young at heart, young forever, right? And then you just stuck with Crystal Gale hair for your entire life.
That's a great concept. A single haircut that you choose. I love it.
I love
Oh.
that idea that you brought in of like, oh, do I go with the left part or the right part? God, the decisions, and then once they lock that onto your head,
That's it.
that's it.
It's like Lego hair. It comes down and just kind of snaps on there. You're done.
There's no need for combs. There's no need for washing. Nothing.
Be a lot
But you're
simpler,
stuck.
man. A lot
It-
simpler.
Jay doesn't
It
like
would be.
that stuff, do you? You want everything that you're
What?
not like. I don't know. Like you're like the idea of you
He's
want.
never been a fashion. Like,
yeah.
he's not into trends. Like Jay's the one guy that you'd look at his high school picture and you go, yeah, he looks the same as he does today because he was wearing the same jeans and like he just didn't go along with a lot of those trendy things. Like Jay never really had a mullet or
Oh, yes, I did,
You-
dude. Take
but,
it back. Take it back,
you
Mike.
did not have a fucking representing mullet. I'll
Okay.
say that.
All right.
You had a little longer in the back like everybody else in America, but you certainly didn't. Like all the rest of us have pictures where it's like, fuck yeah, I'm sporting my mullet. Deal with it, bitches.
Yeah.
Look at this fucking thing. And it was like a see who could get it the longest and all
Yeah.
that bullshit.
I've pretty much had the same hair for 20 years.
You're
20
living by this design you want.
Yeah, it just doesn't matter, dude.
God, that'd be awesome. Lock your hair in and just see all the
I
people
would-
that are stuck with horrific hairdos.
I would not be down with that.
Because you're of age, you would have gone with a purple mohawk, and that would be you.
You know what? I'd be fine with that. You know what though? If I did have to make a choice right now, and I had to make one, I would be fine with saying right now purple mohawk the rest of my life. I really would.
It's kind of like the decision to get a tattoo, right? Although those are removable, so it's not. We're,
Sort of
Kind of.
removable.
Yeah, right.
Sort of.
but same sort of thing. Like, at what point in your life do you make that call? Like, I'm getting this.
Yeah.
Forever,
Yeah.
essentially, almost.
And
But
seeing
but
it
hair
now-
is so representative of people. It kind of is that times 100.
Yeah, well, there's tattoos that people get where it's like, oh, as long as I wear a dress shirt, no one will see
Yeah.
it, or as long as I'm wearing pants, nobody will see it. You
Yeah.
can cover up if you get into a business environment.
Yeah, you don't care.
Think about the high school kids where they make them tape up their arms if they're playing basketball, as they don't
Right.
want it showing. Like these kids in high school and college that are getting sleeves.
Yeah,
Like, dude, you telling me that so many of them are not going to totally regret that in 15
Right,
years when
right.
when real life hits them?
making style, and maybe not. Maybe they'll like it. Yeah, I'm sure.
Well, to
maybe,
me, I think
but-
it's more not that they'll like it as much as like I've said here several times I'd like a Simpsons sleeve, but I swear the only reason I've never gone further than this is the fear that one day I would have to be in a more professional setting.
Yeah.
That should take that fear off your table.
No, I know.
You're never going to work in a
I
professional
get
setting.
it, but you know what?
It's just not going to happen.
No, but I'm not even talking professional. I'm talking about, dude, there's places now where even at a Meijer or something, I know you can wear a long sleeve shirt, but there are places now that even won't hire you that aren't even professional places. It's Tim Hortons. If I know you can put stuff over it, but it'd just be a pain to me. So my point is for work purposes is the only reason I have none that's
Are there
down to my arm.
lawyers with like sleeves or a neck tattoo that you've ever seen? I remember being in
No.
court one day and seeing some guy with like a sweet fucking ponytail and
Oh, yeah,
beard and
yeah.
shit like
The
that,
ponytail. There's this whole breed.
which is so weird in a suit.
of
I'm sorry.
lawyers, yeah, who are kind of, I don't know. I don't want to judge them, but well, you can't.
No
you
pun
can't,
intended.
You can't necessarily say like they're kind of bottom feeders or this and that. There are some really good ones actually that I've seen stand up on motion day. You go to motion day at a court, and it could be anything that judge is hearing. People show up to argue their motions on. So it's not just civil stuff like white collar kind of stuff. There could be criminal stuff going on. Whatever, family law stuff. And so you see all kinds of cases being heard, and you see all kinds of lawyers. It's really interesting.
Yeah.
And some of these guys will get up with their ponytails and looking all disheveled, and they'll argue the shit out of this thing. Really well, really good on their feet.
Yeah.
Really impressive, but they don't have that polished look, but they're not going for that.
Yeah.
Their clients are usually the plaintiffs in a civil suit or the defendants in a criminal. And
yeah,
all they need to do is
rep them.
And so they're up there just doing their thing.
They
and
almost need to do better though, don't they? Just or does the judge really, you think a judge is absolutely across the board, bright line, able to overlook that and go?
No, I doubt it. They're human.
Yeah.
But a lot of these guys who get up there and do their thing like that are in front of these judges a ton. They're trial lawyers. And so they know the judges, they've been in front of them. And no, you definitely can't judge a book by its cover when it comes to the look of a lawyer. Yeah, because it really runs the gamut. You see some real button-down dudes wearing, $8,000 suits and whole 9 yards, and then he could be standing up against one of these kind of street lawyer guys and
get his ass whooped.
Yeah, they could both be very, very good.
Yeah, that's wild. It's funny, like when you think of something like this, this, believe it or not, is actually a business. Radio for One Studios is an LLC, and I wouldn't think twice about hiring a guy with neck tattoos. Like, it would fit in this industry. It's like some guy comes in, he's got the skills to do it. I don't give a fuck what he looks like. Yeah. But you just couldn't do that. I mean, going into a corporate setting, it'd be a lot harder to pull that off.
Limits, yeah.
I wonder if that's changing though, with so many people.
I think it is. It's not shocking to see somebody with a sleeve of tattoos for most people, and certainly our generation is going to be the older generation in the workforce fairly soon, and we're not shocked by it. We're not. No. I think it'll always have a bit of a stigma. Like, all right, you're a bit of a rebel. You know, you're not exactly fitting in. You want to do your own thing. It'll always represent that to an extent.
Anyway, interesting. How we get there from the hair, but
permanent hair.
I love it. Michael Phelps, he's had his issues, right?
I think there were some marijuana issues, and then drunk driving most recently, maybe.
Yeah, he got suspended for like.
There was that thing where he won like 80 gold medals or something too. Remember that?
Oh yeah, was that the same guy? Yeah, same one. Wow, yeah, I vaguely remember that. He's a lot of his sexual conquests have become public, which is kind of a disturbing trend. This idea of hiring some chick and then having her spilled to the Inquirer.
I know, dude.
It's just like something you wouldn't have seen 20 years ago. Like, that was just like.
And then with the electronic evidence that people can have now too. All you need is a simple text from the guy or a quick snapped photo, and you're cooked.
I think this stuff is probably, it's impossible. I think it'd be impossible if you were a guy, single, with millions and millions of dollars, young, and bitches literally lining up around the building to do whatever you want with them. How do you turn that? Like, you almost need to be a woman who's like, no, to shut that off. Like, I almost don't fault these guys for
almost. I mean, not to be mean.
It's a boys will be boys situation. Yeah. Classic.
It is. And you have the means. And just think about that. If bitches were just throwing themselves at you, like tens. Right. And this isn't a 10, unfortunately, because he's probably run through all the 10s. And, we've talked about that before. It's like, how do you get to sheep? Well, you get tired of banging the Playboy model. And not that you end up a sheep, but you know what I'm saying.
Sure.
So Phelps, this chick is talking about her time with them. Her name's Kim Petro. She's 36 years old, plus size dominatrix.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Humongous tits. Huge, which,
They have a height and weight. We got some.
No, there are pictures of her out there, but my printer's not printing pictures well, so I stopped printing them. Kim Petro. She's from New York City. She's detailed her night involving with Phelps, where she whizzed on him.
Oh boy.
I know.
Measurement-y.
You can
Well,
find
no.
pictures of her.
Yeah.
It also comes after only a month after Phelps popped the question to his girlfriend Nicole Johnson.
Oh,
Yeah, that's
Nicole Johnson. Is that someone famous?
former Miss California.
All right. Yeah.
There are other
She's a little
pictures of her
bigger.
too, where those tits are just.
Oh yeah.
If you're into that thing, they're there. Definitely bigger than a 34C. I can promise you that.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, look at that. Look at that. What's going on with those?
I think she hired two adventurous little people
Are those
To,
just their bottoms?
to seize onto her chest.
Doesn't
Yeah,
that,
it does look like an ass. It
Doesn't
looks
it
like
look
an
like a
enormous
guy?
ass.
like if his legs were going into her face, you just be
Yes,
like, oh, that's some
dude.
guy's ass.
Oh my gosh.
I'm sorry, I couldn't get into that. It wouldn't happen. She says in an interview with the National Enquirer that Phelps contacted her in February of 2013, paid her $900 donation.
is that how they do it now?
I guess that's
Yeah,
how they're getting around that.
Or they'll call them roses.
Oh, have you given roses to a lady?
I haven't.
Have you given
my
300
God.
roses to
I
a girl?
haven't, but I've seen them on the pages.
Just pay me in roses. Okay.
Jeez.
I'm just looking for a donation at the end of the night. Okay. Yeah, we can play this game. I can't believe that stands up in court. I just gave her a $900 donation. I had a ball with her. So he gives her a $900 donation for her to come to his hotel room in Manhattan. This after she had posted all natural super busty fetish provider with all the right curves in all the right places. Says she. Time with me is time well spent. Nothing shocks me. Don't be shy. And that he was like, I can't resist. That sounds too tempting. So he called her on his cell phone saying his name was Fabian Merciolo.
That's like Ron Mexico or
Yeah.
something. Like,
Dude, no,
it's so
it's a
out
DJ.
there.
That's a DJ of a name of a DJ
Oh, it
that's
is.
in Miami whose
Well,
friends.
that's a dick move.
Well, he's close friends with Phelps's other friend.
So he's using
Lil
the
Wayne.
name of a real guy?
That's what it says.
why not just
a
make
Miami
up a
music
name?
producer who is close to Phelps' good friend rapper Lil Wayne.
Okay.
Seems odd. When it,
And she
that
no
is an
offense,
odd-
but everyone knows what Michael Phelps looks like too. When she gets there, she's gonna, dude. It's very recognizable who Michael Phelps is.
I don't know. I think there's some people who wouldn't recognize him.
Oh
yeah, maybe, but I think there's a very good chance that a lot of people would recognize him. Most people, and for him, that could just be giving someone a head start. If you say it's Michael Phelps,
yeah.
it now you're letting her game plan like, oh,
Right.
how am I going to tape this? How am I going to
There you go.
by throwing some fake name out there she doesn't know until she walks in the door.
Yeah.
Her phones are set down, and you just think it's another night with some dude.
I'm not sure he's as recognizable as you think.
I
Dude,
disagree.
He won
personally.
like 80 gold medals in the Olympics.
I know,
he's
I
pretty
know.
recognizable.
But you
And
get a
he's like
couple years
7
away
feet
from
tall.
that, and
Yeah.
I don't know if just the average run-of-the-mill person.
The average run-of-the-mill
Prostitute.
dominatrix prostitute.
Whoa, prostitute!
Oh, sorry.
She's raising funds.
Yeah, she's collecting donations.
Those are strange bedfellows, though. If you think Michael Phelps and Lil Wayne,
Yeah, isn't that like Wayne's wee?
yeah,
Hence
Lil.
the Lil.
Lil.
Lil Wayne. He's a wee dude. Yeah, Phelps is not. Yeah, it just doesn't seem like
I don't know. Don't know
Yeah.
anything about either of them really. But
I
it
fucking
seems
love
like
Lil
strange.
Wayne.
Yeah.
Oh my god, dude. Have you ever listened to Lil Wayne?
Yeah.
Like gotten into him?
No, not gotten into
Oh,
him, but
dude, his shit is insanely funny and good. It's really good. Take some CDs. I've got CDs upstairs.
all right.
Oh, I fucking Lil Wayne. Outside of Eminem, there's no one better than Lil Wayne to me. I think Lil Wayne is the shit. I'm serious.
Can't wait to watch Jay driving on the driveway tonight, bumping to Lil Wayne.
He'd surprise you. Jay likes all that shit. Actually,
No, I know he
I
does.
can't
I
wait.
know
I
he-
can't wait to see E backing out of your driveway. This is how he does it. You miss this every night. I freaking laugh my ass off every day. He has to roll his window down. It could be 30 degrees
Wait.
below zero.
he has to look out the
Yes, he rolls his window down. He's got his elbow up on the windowsill. He's going way too fast.
He
you know?
pulls in way too fast. I swear
Oh,
to God, I think he's gonna.
Yesterday, we're like, holy shit.
like,
he goes racing by your window. He's only got about 10 yards beyond your window to
Yeah.
stop. We see him go past.
I'm waiting for like masked gunmen to come barging in the door. It's like, holy shit, what's going on out there?
What? I don't drive in fast.
Dude, yes,
dude,
you do.
Jay and I were sitting there in the living room. We're like, the fuck? It's like a bat out of hell just came screaming up the driveway.
Dude, he does the same thing when he leaves. He gets his hat out the window. It's freezing out. Those February days, every day I'd be like, oh my God, my man's got his head out the window. He goes out and then he's gunning it, trying to get up. You've just got that little slant,
Yeah.
a little grade there that's just enough where front wheel drive is spinning on it. And he's got bad tires, so it's just spinning. So I'll just be sitting there watching this whole thing unfold. He'll throw it into reverse and go flying down your hill.
No, I do.
And
I
then
will
it's
say,
like-
when I go down that hill, I floor it down the hill going
It goes
backward.
flying down
Wait,
the hill.
set the stage here. You guys are talking about once he gets out of my driveway, like where
Yes.
my house is. Like my house, it starts a downward slope down a hill down to a cul-de-sac.
But right
So
out,
when
right
you
at,
back out of my driveway, you're literally at the top of this hill,
And it's at this weird point
and
to
it's
where
a weird angle going downward.
Well, the problem is what happens is when you're backing out and then if you have momentum, it's one thing. That's why I actually, for a while, did start to back it in. Because if you go forward, you can have the momentum.
Right.
But if you back up, then you're stopped. So you're stopping all your momentum. And then my car could not get up the freaking hill.
So I will watch him. I'll usually just stay at the end of the driveway and watch, because if he can't get out, I'll get out and push him. But I'll wait and I'll just be laughing to myself, like out loud laughing, as my man just chucks it in reverse, goes flying down your hill, probably 200 yards
Yeah.
down the road.
Yeah.
And then he gets right, and then boom, you hear it clicking to drive, and then he just gets this running start
Up the hill.
up the hill. He goes flying past me, doesn't even look at me. There's eyes on the road.
It's so funny.
It's bizarre.
Especially just to me, because a lot of those are happening at like 1 a.m. or
Yeah.
something.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's not
Yeah.
like it's at 5 in the afternoon or at evening or whatever. It's-
Totally.
Yeah.
And I'm slap happy because I'm tired as shit. I'm just watching this going, I wish other people could see this. It's just absurd.
Yeah, it is funny. I've seen him do it too. That running head start down the hill. It's ridiculous.
I'm just so glad, dude, that's done now. So at least I can just still.
Yeah,
well,
winter's over. You can just
so I can normally back up. I mean,
Yeah.
I still, dude. I'm. That's what's so funny about how I work at Zot, because I can't drive. I'm not a good driver in reality. Like I'm
not good.
I'm not a good
It's not
driver.
good.
Oh,
to
no,
imagine
like,
him
no.
in brand new cars.
I can't
moving
back
around.
up cars. I don't know how to back.
Put him in a
Says the guy that works at a-
F-350 or some shit.
Yeah, says the guy that works at a
I know.
dealership. I can't drive cars. That's just amazing.
I know. I don't know. I cannot back up cars at all.
Dude, you're looking over the wrong shoulder. First off, you
Yeah.
should be looking over your right shoulder.
I
He's
know.
Does
looking
Homer
over
do that? Does Homer do that? Look
I
out the
rolls
window.
down his window
No.
and looks over his left shoulder.
That is the only place I do it, is this driveway, though. Although I will say, even in my own house,
Well-
I don't do it. But I often will all of a sudden have to stop and start because all of a sudden I'm in the freaking grass or something.
You would think you were 15 and a half getting your learner's permit.
I
That's what it sounds like.
I don't know how to back up cars. I you know what it is? I can't drive straight is the deal. Like I can't, I have a hard time driving straight
He
going
does
forward.
use every inch of your driveway.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, I know.
Back and forth, weaving back and forth, back
I know.
and forth.
They'll post those sticks in there for snow.
Yeah,
So you can see
he'll
what the
knock
snow is.
right over him.
They're go outside. There's like 15 sticks and 12 of them are snapped in half. I wonder who did that. I've never hit one
I've
of them.
seen it happen a million times. I laugh my ass off every time.
You know what? I'm telling you, I can't.
I've never hit one of them.
I believe you.
never.
I believe you.
And by the way, that's where my huge fear comes from for drinking and driving. Like if I have 2 beers,
Because you're a shit ass
because
driver.
I know I'm a bad driver already. So I know that if I have a beer, if I have 3 beers and I drive, like there's a chance I could get pulled over because I'm already weaving and like I already don't keep it straight in the lane, even when I'm driving normal, even if I'm not texting, like even if I'm literally
You
not.
know, yeah, I was going to raise that. I don't think we want to go there again. E. Do we want to go there?
No.
Speaking of backing up cars at work, it's that Ford. It's as easy as 1, 2, 3. Right now, you can lease a 2014 Focus or a 2015 Fusion or a 2015 Escape for just $123 per month. You heard right. That's $123 that gets you a new Focus, Fusion, or Escape at Zot Ford. Maybe Big E can't count to 3 or back shit up, but at Zot Ford, the math is simple. Listening to the Detroit Cast equals amazing deals for you, your friends, and your family. Check out the deals and massive inventory at zotford.com. That's SZOTT. It's as easy as 1, 2, 3.
Hey, back to Michael Phelps real quick.
Oh, yeah,
when he was on
shit.
when he was on the
Sorry.
phone with her, he said, make sure you drink some water before you get here.
No,
Swear to God. So
No.
she knew what that meant. I figured I might as well get paid for it. She's like, I was going to go to the bathroom anyway, so I might as well get paid for it. So he's telling her to drink water
Oh my
before she gets to the hotel.
God.
When she got to the hotel, she claims Phelps
Why would you
removed
be-
his shirt, then his shorts, and to reveal he was wearing skimpy women's underwear.
No.
Oh.
Yeah,
He's wearing panties. But I mean, basically, he wears panties in the pool every day of his
Yeah,
life.
but
So
it's not the same. God, are we gonna have another Bruce Jenner situation here?
I don't know. They then smoked a little weed, which is not good. I mean, with all the trouble he got in before, he was suspended. I don't give
I
a
know,
shit, but
it's so
I
dumb.
mean,
But
what was it? They the Olympic body, whatever, got all
But
pissed off and suspended him for 6 months if he's caught smoking weed again.
dude,
After the drunk driving, maybe it was, but
right, I get it, but dude, weed is not gonna help him in the fucking. Who cares if he can still win gold medals while smoking weed?
yeah. I got above him on the bed to urinate on him. After I was done, he asked if it was okay to pleasure himself. As if she's going to draw the line there. No, we'll have none of that.
None
Just
of it.
imagine the thumb over the garden hose.
Oh,
Oh, the
Why does
spray.
This chick standing over you.
dude, you're paying
Fat
her to.
chick, too.
Then let's think for a moment about the maid the next day. The poor maid.
No one ever thinks about the maid. This is a well-respected Manhattan.
Think about
suite.
the maid, people. Just for a
Well,
moment.
you know what?
Ugh,
And the problem to me, the thing is,
those need to be burned. I think you go in there, you see that mess, and it's like, just wrap them all up
Yeah.
into the garbage.
you're gonna pay this girl whatever. What do you say? $900 donation.
$900, yeah.
$900 donation. She pisses on you. Why don't I mean? What I don't get is, and I guess it must be a fetish. But why in that fetish would you not have her at least jack you off? Like, why are you having her piss on you? And you're like, do you mind?
Can't
if-
explain another man's fetishy.
Yeah, I
Can't
guess.
explain it.
It is weird, though. Like, is it okay for me to beat myself? Like,
Yeah.
that seems weird to me, too, that you've got a chick here. So she pulls her giant titties out. So he pulled down his panties.
Jesus Christ.
That's when she claims she noticed he had a string tied around his genitals.
God.
I grabbed the string and pulled. I also took out my breast because he wanted to see him. And this chick Chandler, this other girl who he was with, she detailed her relationship with Phelps to the Inquirer as well. Specifically, their first date involved sex in a public restroom at a Ravens game, the Baltimore Ravens game, at halftime. He took this chick into a
Well,
bathroom
this was just a date, right?
at
You said?
halftime, yeah, and fucked her on the first date in the bathroom.
Nice.
Think about that.
Gross.
At an
dude.
NFL game, how disgusting. We've all been to an NFL game.
At
Yeah.
Think about
halftime.
those bathrooms at halftime. First off, the lines with kids and everything else in them. And Michael Phelps is apparently so in there just drilling some skank.
Wow.
That's unbelievable. I mean, good for him, I suppose, but we made love during halftime.
Made
My
love. We made love.
That's her quote, not mine.
It's so far from making love.
That's
She's getting her head slammed off the toilet seat by Michael Phelps.
while
We
there's
made
fucking piss
love
and
At
shit
a
all over.
Baltimore Ravens halftime. Oh
Right.
my God.
Made love.
Guys sitting there drunk, pissing on the floors and shit, and
Oh.
making love.
Oh, that's so gross. She also claims she was with Phelps when he got his DUI in September.
Dude, you know what I will say, and you did say the one thing about this is, dude, whatever his business is, this bitch, no offense, but the deal is if you're gonna pay these people, the deal is that you pay it for the fact that they're getting money for it, and it's somebody famous, so you don't fucking talk about it. It's not you get $900
Yeah, isn't
and
that
then you
sort
get
of
a
career
paycheck.
suicide for this chick?
It's not respecting your profession.
Yeah.
I mean, that used to be a well-respected profession. It's the oldest one in the book. And to think that there are people breaking those rules, those sacred rules in the profession,
Oh, I know.
it's just it's unprefessional.
Does she take a hit business wise now, E?
She
for
should.
what she's done.
I mean,
I think she should.
I think to me, as far as being a having a celebrity call you up, that really to me, I don't know.
I think you go down like Heidi Fleiss. Didn't Heidi Fleiss take that black book? I mean, there were a couple names that got out, but they were obvious names anyways. But I think for the most part, I don't remember that black book ever really being revealed.
Yeah, I don't recall whatever happened with that.
But yeah,
Yeah.
you're right. I think
mean,
you
you
take
can't
those
blame
names
a
down
chick.
with you.
I don't think you can blame it if you pick up some skank drunk at the bar and you're a celebrity
Yeah,
and she
no.
goes and she kisses and tells
Totally.
and has a story, whatever. But when you're paying someone, I know that sounds ridiculous, but that's just kind of the code of that deal is like, hey, this transaction is off the books. A lot of times those people are married. they're doing whatever they're doing, or celebrity, and that's what you're paying
that's why,
for.
Right. That's why you're
paying
paying
the
900.
profession
Yeah.
to keep your shit inside. I clearly the rules are changing, but there was a day, believe it or not,
I think it's bullshit.
when people would go to their graves with that shit.
Right. And I don't think that who's going to go to this? Who knows if anyone's going to, whatever. But I mean, if I were a celebrity and I was into this, I certainly wouldn't go after this girl, I guess. I don't know.
And it could be bullshit. Some guy could have just said he was Michael Phelps, some tall, skinny guy. I mean, we've seen that. We have a buddy that nailed some chick. We were out one night and he's claimed he was like the third string quarterback for the Lions. Do you remember that?
Yes.
Came back on the bus and he's trailing her. It's like, third string quarterback's getting a little play tonight. It was just, whatever. So she could have thought she was Michael Phelps. Who knows?
It'd be a boys will be boys situation. I don't know.
Yeah. Anyway, why don't we take a quick break and then we'll tell you what's going on with Starbucks. Interesting story out of Starbucks.
That's not about semen?
It's got potential. Not about semen, unfortunately. It's even better. And we'll also tell you about the vice principal who's in a little hot water. We'll get into all that next.
The Detroit Cast The Detroit Cast continues now, bitches. Here's Mike and Jay.
All right, welcome back to the Detroit Cast on a Thursday with Mike and Jay. And quite a bit left to go, including a story about a vice principal who's been suspended.
What'd he say?
Exactly. It's not like he banged a student or anything like that. We got those stories too. But this guy, I don't know, something about this seems off to me. I got to be honest with you. And I watched the video. I think it's in Spanish, actually. It's at a California school in Fresno. But a school vice principal, they claim, said a racist remark. It's at this middle school in Fresno, California. It was recorded by a student's cell phone saying, I just don't like black kids. Right? Sounds horrifying. Why would any principal say that?
An educator, Mike.
Yeah. Joseph DeFilippo is his name. And he had been in the middle of a discussion with several students about who they didn't like at the school. And it's a 20-second clip, and it cuts off as soon as he makes the insensitive remark. So as soon as he says, I don't like black people, it stops. The video stops, which is suspect to me. You know, I immediately think like, okay, why would you stop it there? You're dealing with middle school kids, first off. And why would you be, I mean, this is a racially diverse school. You know, there's a lot of Mexican kids. There's black kids, not a ton, I guess, but I can't remember what the percentage was. But why would a vice principal be talking to them and say something like that? It looks pretty obvious to me that this kid's filming it.
Is it portrait, landscape?
It's landscape.
Wow.
I mean, I'm sorry, portrait. Yeah,
okay.
It's portrait, unfortunately. But the way it ends the way it does, it could have easily been, I don't like black kids being bullied at school.
Right,
you know what I mean? Like,
begs the question, what came next?
Yeah. What came before, what came after? I don't like black kids
Well,
getting mistreated by the police. You know what I mean?
It's like you always say, the worst case scenario here would be somebody takes something way out of context and blows it up. And I mean, not that you've said that's the worst case scenario, but you said that could easily be done. And of course it could. Take a little piece of audio and make it whatever you want.
Exactly.
I've seen what you do to audio, and
it's easy to
chop it up and move it around.
It's very easy to do. We could be reading a story and read a quote that sounds horrific and go, look what these sons of bitches said on the air. You know, he could have been in the middle of something. Some kid says, I don't like black kids. And he goes, I don't like black kids is something that should never come out of your mouth. That is insensitive to students here.
You gotta know what he said next.
It's kind of important, right? I mean, just at face value, you know, now I've just said I don't like black kids 18 times in a row. I just said it again.
Cut it up.
You cut that up and just post that as something. Look what Walter said. I don't like black kids. All of a sudden, I'm a monster. So I'm willing to give a vice principal the benefit of the doubt until I see more video. And if he says something horrific, then fine. By all means, suspend him. You can't.
Weren't vice principals always the biggest assholes? In my recollection, they were. They were kind of the heavies. You know, they were the ones that brought the gauntlet down.
That's true. At Harrison.
Yeah. I don't remember any of their names, but I remember the main principal was super nice. Glad handing kind of guy, knew all the parents, this and that, but the vices were
the guy that was going to drop the hammer if you fucked up. He's the one whose office you got sent to.
Yeah.
Stereotypically it's like to the principal's office, but you never really met the head principal. Not that I remember.
No,
anyways.
you'd always get hammered by the vice.
Yeah.
So
it's weird.
Well, maybe this guy has it coming. Maybe he's an asshole.
Yeah. Several people want him fired. They're demanding his job for this. And people showed up at the school and were protesting yesterday, talking about chanting, I love black people and black power. If this is some asswipe fucking 12-year-old, 13-year-old being a dickhead, it's really going to piss me off, especially with the way things are in society right now. You don't need this. So, and if he was, then whatever, you know, you bring it on yourself. They said around 10% of students are black at that school.
I think that needs to be placed in the Astronom file.
All right.
We need to learn the context of that.
It's so funny. Either one of us says Astronom file and he just goes, ugh.
Okay.
Why do you get disgusted with it? You've never done a thing with it. It literally means nothing. It's just a fake word
I
or
know.
term. It means less than
As
nothing
he
in your
makes a
world.
paper airplane with it. That son of a bitch. He doesn't know how to make a paper airplane. Did you see that?
Dude,
He made 2 folds
that was not
and then tried to throw a sheet of paper.
was that really
He
seriously?
basically folded a piece of paper in half and then made 2 points on it and then threw it.
Do you know how to make a paper airplane?
E. E.
Not well. I think you go like this.
That was seriously an effort
Yeah, no,
at
that,
it.
and
actually,
then,
you're better at it than I thought. Yeah.
and then
That's
this,
good.
right? Then like this,
Oh, E. Oh, E.
right? And then
Oh my God, that is that's the worst paper airplane I've ever seen in my life. Thank you, Jay. Will you show them how it's done?
Yeah. I'm trying.
This is universal. Did you not go to grade school?
I
No, he didn't. Remember?
Yeah, this is the
He missed
formative
those
years where you
Formative
learned
years.
you missed out on.
He missed reading, writing, arithmetic, paper airplanes.
He
did
mastered
at
physics
one point.
somehow,
No, that's not true. Because at one point in 2nd grade, we had these like little Olympics or something I did, and one of them was paper airplane race. And I remember
Look at that son of a bitch. Look at that. Look at that thing fly. You almost took your eye out, E. Look at E's.
He just shoved a sheet of paper at me, basically, is what he did.
You know,
God, dude,
That's the most unaerodynamic paper airplane I've ever seen in my life.
where do you get your aeronautic sensibilities?
how did you do it? How did you do it? I don't know. No, I'll show me again another time, I guess. But
Yeah, that's not the best on-air kind of.
Yeah.
All right, ready? Do some origami?
The fact that Jay just did one on the air and we let it go was bad enough.
You want me to do another? You want me to reverse engineer it for you and show you how that happened? You son of a bitch.
Speaking of race issues, I think we got a great idea coming out of Starbucks. Really on the forefront of things and thinking this through. Someone board meeting, really thinking things through.
This
has
is
got
one of
legs.
those. It went well in the board meeting.
Yes.
Looks good on paper, so to
Yes.
speak.
Sure does.
In practice, how is this going to go?
Yeah, you tell us. The CEO, Howard Schultz, is encouraging his employees to bring up hot button issues. You know, stuff like gun control, same-sex marriage, baristas, bringing this up with customers. He's now talking about having them talk race relations with people. Starbucks, they published a full-page ad in the New York Times on Sunday, just a black page with a tiny caption, "Shall we overcome?" Question mark.
Is it race together or something like
Yes.
that? Hashtag race together.
In the middle, and the words "race together" with the company logo on the bottom right. Yuck. Ugh.
With the company logo.
Of course, the company logo is in there. The ad, along with a similar one on Monday in Monday's USA Today, is part of an initiative launched this week by the coffee store chain to stimulate conversation and debate about race in America by getting employees to engage customers about the perennial hot button subject of race relations in the country.
This is not going to go well.
Beginning on Monday, Starbucks baristas will have the option as they serve customers to hand cups on which they've handwritten the words "race together" and start a discussion about race.
Wait a minute. When I go to Starbucks now, I'm gonna I go once a week or so.
You don't want to
Starbucks.
talk to that dude, do you?
You're in line waiting to get a coffee because you're late to work.
I don't
mean,
want to talk about race,
Really?
man.
We're gonna
With
sit there at the
you.
counter.
with you,
and just-
the guy who's really good at fucking foaming milk. Really, the guy that's top notch at sprinkling cinnamon on top of some whipped
Dude,
cream.
well,
We're gonna
you're-
get into
by
a
the way,
heavy race
You're
discussion.
you're not giving people at Starbucks enough credit. It actually, from what I've heard, it is very hard to get to Starbucks. There's a lot of coffees that they need to know how to do, actually. But
Dude,
He's being totally serious
I know
right
he
now.
is. I worked at a coffee shop. I know how hard it is to
when
make a
did you
latte.
work at? Really?
Yes,
When?
years ago. And my buddy opened a coffee shop, and I manned the store. Najee did. And
I don't
I
think
had
there
to
was
do
as
all
many.
that bullshit and pack the fucking grinds.
How many coffees? How many types of drinks did they have there? I think Starbucks
Enough.
has a
They
lot.
had the liquid. Dude,
Are you challenging the number of drinks that Mike could remember and make?
Yes.
I'm not saying I made a great coffee, but I certainly was in no position to discuss race relations with.
Well, no, of course
Gay
Customers.
not.
marriage.
I'm just sticking up for the Starbucks guy.
And who are like the idea of a discussion, right? Means that there are differing opinions and points. What this tells me is think about the clientele at a
Yeah,
Starbucks,
I know.
right? This is going to be a group of white guilted motherfuckers walking in, buying $5-6 cups of coffee.
I know.
And what? Jerking each other off to how progressive and welcoming to everybody they are. Where's the debate? Where's the discussion? Because if you got into a real discussion, and what happens when some guy comes in and he's like, he writes race relations on your cup, and you really do have an honest discussion with him and blow him out of the water and get into a fist fight there over some really sensitive topics in this country.
Totally. They're really empowering their baristas here. And
well,
I don't want to slam the baristas. I'm sure
really...
some of them are really smart people and stuff like that.
Sure.
I'm sure of it. But it's just it's a good idea on paper. I don't see this ending well, though. This is not going to end up well.
But
Mike.
Jay, you say empowering baristas. I don't think they want to sit there and well,
maybe they do, maybe they don't. But it just seems like the place for something like that. You know, that's not it. Like, there are people that you wouldn't want that in the fast food lane either.
Well, here's a guy, and I somewhat give him credit, the CEO, saying this is a problem, and we've talked about this before. Everybody should talk about this really seriously and honestly have an open discussion and not just say they're going to have an open discussion. So you have a guy with a platform. Hey, I'm the CEO of Starbucks. I have all these people who interface with people all day long. This is what I want to happen. I want people to have honest discussions. So
on paper,
I guess, on paper, I give him credit for kind of thinking out of the box, but this is not going to work, dude.
Yeah.
Not going to work.
Yeah.
And your point about them not wanting to do it, they don't have to do it. They're not saying, hey, baristas, you've got to strike up these conversations. It's just,
they're encouraging
it. Yeah. We're cool with it. If you want to, give them this cup and get into a conversation.
I know, but I'm just saying, okay, I get that they don't have to, but I'm just saying, like, I can not imagine. I go to Starbucks at least once a week.
Dude, you've had those chatty clerks and things who,
and if you're 3 deep in that line, you're pissed.
Totally.
You're like, dude, fucking top the thing off, write the stupid name on it, and move them along. There's people in line, and there's usually a big line there.
And it's gonna hit hard on Monday because the baristas who do want to do this are gonna be all gung ho to do it.
Yeah,
and they're gonna be holding people up and trying their hardest, trying too hard to get into these conversations.
How do you even start that conversation with a random person? Do you target it? Do you wait till the black guy walks in your store and is next in line before you write race relations on your cup? Race together, whatever they're writing. Do you do it with a white guy? So 2 white guys are just discussing how evil they are to black people. Like, what? Where are you supposed to implement this? Who are you supposed to? Are you supposed to target people? Are you supposed to pick people out? Like,
I'm sure there's been memos, Mike.
Maybe so,
sure they
but
have bullet points.
They say he met with almost 2,000 Starbucks employees and just kind of roundtabled with these individuals as he went on his trail around the country, especially in hotbed areas like St. Louis and in Oakland and New York. He went to all these cities where they've had race troubles and went and talked to baristas, and everyone's on board. Now, think about that for a second. The CEO of a company that has 4,700 restaurants, millions of employees, that guy walks into your store and he's going to talk to you, Jay, and you're just a barista. You're not someone, you make coffee for a living. And that guy, the CEO of a multi-billion-dollar company, is going to sit down and get your opinion on what are you going to do? Go, dude, that's the stupidest idea I've ever heard. You're going to tell that to the CEO? No. Of course everybody's going to go, no, that's a great idea. Whatever you say, boss. Yeah, whatever. Just keep the paychecks coming.
Totally.
It just doesn't, like, I don't see what am I missing that in a boardroom was nobody able to stand up to this guy? Because you see what happens when people have differing opinions about race things. And it never looks well. It never goes well. Nobody has the discussion that needs to be had. You can't even have the discussion without being declared a racist.
You don't give him an ounce of credit for trying something?
I have no problem with that. I give him credit for having the balls to even think outside the box. But really, your barista, is that who you want to talk gay marriage with? Is that really who you want to do that with?
But that's the tool he has. And so that's what he's going with. He's trying something.
Well, then you've got Starbucks money and Starbucks backing. Go get yourself a program on television and get a panel of guests who are experts in this and really have hard-hitting conversations. Don't stick it on the guy at the front counter at Starbucks who's responsible for moving the fucking line along. That sounds asinine, and it sounds like you can have lawsuits when people get into full-on brawls when the first asswipe comes in and goes, you know what, I wish these lazy sons of bitches would get their shit in gear. I'm tired of this. I'm tired of dealing with these lazy fuckers at work who are black. And some guy's going to be like, well, I don't know. That's a terrible opinion. Well, is it? Are we having a discussion, or we just want to talk back and forth about how great we are and that we see no problems in this country except white people need to get over it and start looking fairly at people? Because that's what it sounds to me like, the discussion they're trying to have. Not a discussion. They just want to have talking points.
Yeah, you're right. The whole thing is to make no mistake, to posture Starbucks in a certain way as a progressive company that wants to engage customers and this and that. So that's the overall point. But I think there is a piece of it where I give them a bit of marginal credit for, as you say, thinking out of the box and trying to get this dialogue that we've talked about, which is needed, going, but it's not going to work.
Do you think that's really the way? I think it would be more powerful if you didn't have your Starbucks logo on the paper. In other words, you want everybody to know that Starbucks is really involved in this. Is it really just a marketing ploy and getting people like us talking about it? Because we're not talking about Starbucks unless they're coming in coffees or striking up an absurd idea. I'm sorry, that's a retarded idea to do, in my opinion. I'm going to go to Starbucks, though, because I want someone to write that on my cup, and I want to have a hard-hitting discussion with a barista. Let's do that.
You got one right down the road here.
Do I?
Yeah.
I haven't been there in 2 years, but let's the three of us go in and see if any of us on Friday or Monday, whatever day it is,
can hang with those guys.
Does it start on next Monday? I go at least one, but look where I go to. I go to the one in Milford, Michigan, or I go to Novi.
I'm going to start hitting Starbucks every day, multiple times a day, and just see how many of them I can get and just play dumb and just be like, I feel really bad. I see a black guy walking down the street. I cross the street, man. I don't know. Is that weird? That I do.
You'll be confronted with nothing but the most progressive opinion ever out of those baristas. Every one of them.
I've been hiring new employees at my office. I run a small company on the other side of town, and every time a black guy walks in, I literally am like, I don't even read their pay. I just throw it in the garbage. I don't know. You feel that too? You know what I'm saying? No? Maybe it's just me. I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah, you should do that, Mike.
Just fuck with people.
Yeah.
That would be great. I agree with that.
You could film it.
Yeah.
You can have a ball, dude.
I'll film that. I'm in now.
You in? We'll fire up the career and
I'll just sit over on the another table with the camera. Like
I think I want Burley. I got to be honest with you.
Oh, you definitely want Burley. Burley would be able to get that very well done.
I'll be at home doing something else that day.
You're my legal counsel. Don't back out of this.
If you guys did that, that'd be great.
You don't think it's a good idea, do you?
No, it's sure. I do. I think it's good. I think it would be funny.
I do too. I got to think more about this.
I don't really even care about. I don't even know if I agree with Mike as much, but I agree that it'd be funny to do that.
Just to kind of fuck with people.
Yeah, I agree
bit.
that. I like fucking with people. That's the thing, though.
Hey, remember the other day, E, when you had trouble, and we've talked about it a couple times, when you had you went to the bathroom and then you had to go upstairs.
Yes.
What was your concern? That it was going to be loud, right?
I knew that. Yeah, I had known that. I had to go for about 15 minutes near the end of the show, so I just had. All of a sudden, I sat down and figured, what if you guys heard this? Or whatever. So,
how did that sound? Was it an explosion?
It's so odd, the things that concern him. He's so complicated. It's not. You can't put him.
Like, you're right though.
It's like he's the dirtiest son of a bitch ever. He's literally right now holding his nuts.
Yeah,
he's got a hand on his nuts. He's wearing the same.
As someone said, by the way,
pants.
Someone told me on just because you brought it up, I saw this in the break. But someone
he saw it.
Yeah, whatever. Someone said that on Twitter that they said Big E's wearing the same pants today as yesterday. I mean, fuck. You're on video. Change your clothes,
dude. He's wearing those pants every day for 3 months.
So this is the same guy who worries about whether we're gonna hear him poop.
Yeah,
and you know what my buddy once said. This is a great. To me, an example of what you're saying. Like when I go out in public, for one, I don't like shitting in public. I really like to do it at home. Maybe nobody does. I don't think most people probably like to do it. But if I go to like McDonald's and have to do it, I put like a shit ton of toilet paper down.
Dude, that's funny. That's one of the tricks.
But
people do.
But my point is, my buddy said, like, dude, you would probably fucking. For a bit, you would lick the toilet seat, but when you shit,
you won't put your ass on it.
You won't put your ass on it, like, and it's like he's right. I guess that's kind of fucking weird.
You lick a toilet seat at McDonald's?
Yes.
While you're out at Starbucks, why don't
you
take him over to the McDonald's and get that done too? Burley can film that too.
Yeah, we could do that.
Burley would definitely film that.
Perfect.
Yeah.
But anyway,
can there be stuff in the toilet? Yeah, there can.
It doesn't really matter.
All right, it's perfect.
This is great. This is great news out of Detroit today.
But that just speaks to what you're saying about the oddities, I suppose, of
Yeah,
Well, it's not as rare as you think, but there's a special class of people that really fall into that same thinking as you. They've done research and revealed there's an embarrassment scale. Scientists at Indiana University discovered that we're most comfortable with a spouse overhearing us and most mortified if you got a new girlfriend who's in earshot.
You know what, though, dude? Just when you speak to that about the hearing, you know what? I don't know if you've noticed this. Like, well, you haven't because you guys don't notice it. But when I piss, even if I go in there or if I'm like at a friend's house or anything like that, if I'm in any place where anyone's there other than just me by myself, I'll pee like onto the bowl. Not the bowl, but I mean not onto the bowl, but I mean like not where the
not
water
into
is.
the water.
Not because I think it's
Oh my
weird that they
God.
hear my stream.
You don't hear the king either. He just dips his head into the water.
Oh
and
yeah,
just
that's
just
true.
you just
I
hear
was
the
gonna
bubble
say.
effect. That's all you get from
Oh,
the
that's-
king doing it.
That's actually not true because every time he goes in there, I just I
Yeah,
can
it
hear
sounds
him.
like a fucking
Yeah, I just
fire hose.
leave
going
I leave the door open all the
off. I
time.
know. Yeah.
That's what I always get. Would you close the fucking door?
Let's see. In terms of the sexes, straight women and gay men were most bothered with being heard.
Oh, you just son of a bitch!
I didn't do the research.
This-
This was not part of my dissertation. I did not have any part in this paper.
I'm not gay.
All arrows are pointing.
It's okay if you are.
We'll still like you, as Jay said. We will. But they're very clear about that. Straight women and gay men are by far the most bothered with that thing,
Nice.
making noise. Lesbian women were the most relaxed about noisy bodily functions, even more so than straight men.
What a shock!
Oh my gosh.
Isn't that weird? It's trying so hard to be
Yeah,
a
the real
dude.
butchy kind of thing. Yeah, that's what guys do. That's what guys do. You know what I mean? With the short haircut, I got my polo shirt on.
Working on a goatee,
Yeah,
taking some roan, some
Just a guy.
testosterone.
tape down my boobs here.
Some
Gonna
roan.
get rid of them.
Hold on a sec, guys. That was me. Just one of the boys. What are you gonna do? Unsurprisingly, men were much more comfortable breaking wind in public than women. Anybody surprised at that?
No.
Me either. When it comes to muffling the sound, research has discovered many of us employ an array of tricks. Some persons control their sphincter muscles and do like half,
Just let
like,
it
kinda
out,
like
like-
eat it. Yeah, let it
Let it out
slowly.
easily.
I don't normally do that. That was an unusual situation.
If it's going to be loud, I won't stop to go. Other techniques include having a bowel movement early in the morning or late at night, using I think a lot of people do this at work. Got to kind of go to a satellite shitter,
Yeah.
go upstairs to the sales
Oh
room
yeah,
and
we
blow
talked
there
about
or
that.
something.
Dive bombing other offices.
Yeah. What is that? That's so weird.
Yeah, it's because they're uncomfortable. Like, oh, I have to work with this guy all day. I don't want to
Yeah, blow
have
up
him
his
know I poo. Dude, I started just blowing ass in my office for the last couple of years that I was at the firm.
Yeah,
I mean, just like openly, like whatever. I don't even.
audibly.
I tried.
really-
I tried not to do it audibly.
You do
but,
it here too. You don't give a shit.
But I was just. I mean, there were days where I'm just like, oh my god, just killing myself. And my secretary would walk in. She'd be filing stuff or something. I'm like, I wouldn't say anything, but I know she's just like, oh my god.
Jay, if you ever really start to,
so funny.
if you start to put together to me the stories you tell near the end of the firm life, it's very clear that Jay did not on and off air. When I hear stuff on and off air, it's very clear that there was a period where
I
you
lost
just
the
decided,
passion,
yeah,
did I?
You gave up a little bit. You weren't even trying to fake the corporate thing that you need to do.
No.
It's just
and
like,
some of that stuff, yeah. I think most of the stuff you've been told me has probably been off air. I feel like just off air conversations,
Yeah.
but it's very clear.
Yeah, and it was a place where that was very frowned upon.
yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
there were
Could you-
fresh flowers delivered every few days to the front credenzas and
Could you,
conference rooms.
with the
Yeah.
So
They weren't expecting you in your
they
office
were expecting me to
destroying
just
it.
blowing ass all day long.
what would
What?
what have any of do you have any contact with any of them, and have any of them listened
little
to
bit.
this?
I don't know if
at all.
any of them have listened,
What
but
would they really?
I'm
would
sure
just-
they get 2 minutes in and go, oh,
Oh,
not interested.
They'd be done with it.
Yeah.
We got a story out of Ohio. A woman with a prosthetic leg.
Sweet.
Yep.
so good so far.
So good so far.
So good so far. I couldn't agree more. I was thinking the same thing.
Shit.
What does it really eat?
Sounds good so far.
So far, so good.
So
So good so far.
So good so far it is.
Dude, I swear to God, wait a minute, 1 second, dude. I swear to God, I'm not that bad at these fucking sayings. I
No,
don't
I know.
what-
I agree with you.
You
You're
know
not.
what it is?
No, you're
You know what
actually
it
pretty
is?
strong. It's one of your strong
No,
suits.
you know what it is? I think that I think that when I've finally been forced in a situation where 5 days a week I'm actually relied to talk once in a while, I think that's where just noticeably I don't know.
Yeah. So if we
No,
asked you to do this
point you
once,
just made there. That was a great point, by the way.
if we asked you to do this once a week, you feel like you could hold it together.
Yeah.
Yes.
But it's just that we get beyond
You'd
those.
stop.
Where do you think the cutoff is? Do you think it's 3 days where you fucking lose it? Where do we deplete
At
your
what point
your intelligence?
can we stop making lemons out of lemonade? At what point can we so good so far things? Like, is it, as Jay
3
said,
days?
that's a fair
2.5?
question.
We just want to know.
Is it the 2.5 show mark?
When do you run out of gas?
I just realized how dumb of a point that was.
Yeah, that was really.
So good. What did I say?
So good so far.
And what is it really?
So far, so good.
Yeah. Okay. God damn it.
Anyway, this lady with a prosthetic leg left a note asking a neighbor not to use her handicap parking space, and she got a rude response back from this woman that started, "Hey, handicap." So this woman, Ashley Brady, said she lost her leg.
That's not PC. It should have been "Hey, disabled."
Yeah,
Handicap. That's so 80s.
yeah, but they still have handicap parking. That's technically.
Yeah, but she doesn't have a handicap. She has a disability, Mike.
Yeah, that's true. Good point. Fair point. She lost her leg in an accident in 2014 and learned to walk again with a prosthetic, but she found walking on ice was a real problem. She struggled a lot to get through the ice and snow in the parking lot, trying to learn how to balance and walk. I fell multiple times, all of which my neighbors have seen. So management at her apartment complex agreed. Yeah, there she
Jesus
goes.
Christ. Wow, what is this? Fuck.
Welcome to the morning zoo.
I know. Whoa. Is that
Going down. Management at her apartment agreed to give her a handicap parking space near the door to her building, but someone started parking in the spot on Sunday. So she leaves a note on the vehicle.
So she doesn't even let it go a day. She leaves a note that same day.
I guess. Yeah. Kind of bitching about it. She says, "I was stern and confident in what I was saying and just letting her know she doesn't know what it's like to walk around without your own leg. She, in return, placed a really rude note under my windshield wiper." And so that's her side of the story, right?
Right.
And if you read between the lines of those words, I was stern and confident.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
In other words, bitch.
Yeah.
I was a bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah, obviously
Get the
just
fuck out of my spot.
I've
you
got
bitch.
one leg and
Yeah.
it's hard for me to. You have no idea.
Who
about
the F are you?
Yeah.
when
parking
you're
in my spot.
when your nice way of wording it is that I was stern and confident.
Yeah.
Like if you were trying to say that I just nicely said it, you'd kind of say I politely kind of told the person.
Yeah.
But because you're right, stern and confident are already very harsh.
And some people just don't have a way with communicating with others. And you see that all the time where it's like, dude, really? Really? You think that's the way to get something done is to act like that? You know, I'm sure she would, who knows what this notes. It wasn't posted what she wrote, but the response is posted, which is
How crazy.
Hey, handicap.
Hey, handicap. First, never place your hands on my car again. Second, honey, you ain't the only one with struggles. You want pity to go to a one-leg support group. You messed with the wrong one. I don't care what your note said. Shove it. But you touch my car again, I will file a report. I'm not playing. I let the office know the crybaby one leg touches my property. I will cause trouble. So go cry your struggles to someone who cares, because I'm walking away with both mine, bitch.
I would have
Seems a
definitely
bit harsh.
I would have definitely used the phrase peg leg if I were writing that.
Would you?
Yeah. I would have called her a peg leg.
But she doesn't really technically have a peg leg. She's got a prosthetic. I mean, I think peg leg, I think of Captain Hook. Didn't Captain Hook have a peg leg?
No, he had a peg arm.
He had a, right. He
A
had the
hook
hook.
for a hand.
Hook for
He
a
did.
hand. No, he had a hook for a
Did he have a peg leg?
No, he didn't.
Or am I just thinking of pirates in general? Am I
I
generalizing
think you're
pirates?
general. Yeah, don't do that.
I'm
That's
sorry.
Did they
stereotype.
really
That's
ever
offensive
have
to
peg
pirates, isn't it?
legs?
It'd be like saying they
Sure.
all say arg, arg.
Arr, matey.
Yeah,
Arr.
that's see.
like is it Seabass or who's the Simpsons character that's got the iPad? Or am I? No.
You're thinking Family Guy.
Family Guy. He's got 2 peg legs and 2 peg arms
Sweet.
and a patch, and he wears a red and white striped
What
shirt.
happened to him, man?
I don't know.
He explains it, I think, in one episode.
Yeah, I
but
think so too. But
I don't know.
But I think of him as a peg leg
Mhm.
or a peg's leg, as it were. But
Yeah, I would have called her peg leg. I'm
would
just
you?
saying.
I think that's a bit dated too. That goes right along with handicap, Jay. If this this league, Ashley Brady says, I read it probably like 5 times over and over because my brain just couldn't even process the level of mean that it was.
How about Stumpy? Should call her Stumpy?
Stumpy would
I
work.
would use Stumpy and
I think
peg
they
leg.
prefer that actually, because I mean it's true, right?
Stumpy. Yeah.
Yeah.
She's got a stump. It's undeniable.
If the person really knew her, and her sister chimes in, Ashley's sister, if the person really knew her, they would never talk that way about her because she's so sweet and would never talk that to anyone that way. Of course, the family's going to come
Sure.
flying in for the defense. I just, when you talk about, I was stern and confident in what I was saying, just letting her know she doesn't know what it's like to walk around without your own leg. Everything in that sentence
Yeah.
sounds like you're kind of being a dick.
Some conflict there.
Yeah.
We're
it
hearing
wasn't-
one side of the story.
Yeah. And if it was
Harsh, yes.
do you really think that letter would have been, the response would have been like that if it was, hey, I know you were probably
you
in a
know what,
rush
though?
today, but
You wouldn't mind. I've got this problem. and
yeah,
Really
especially,
helpful if you didn't.
especially in the winter when it's icy out. You
Yeah.
know, if you'd like to discuss, here's
Got
my
this peg
apartment
leg.
number.
I'm a Stumpy kind of deal here.
The only
I mean,
thing, though, is
if
in
you
that
want to have a spinning contest, I'm in. But other than that, yeah, you're definitely going to beat me in the walking department. So I'd appreciate it if you'd,
Get together and do a 3-legged race sometime. Maybe.
Yeah.
Have
Or-
a cup of coffee after.
or if you want to, go out for a hop and a talk, we could discuss, and you could bring your issues to the table, whatever. But in the meantime, until we have a chance to sit and talk about this, I'd really appreciate it if you just leave my spot
You know,
alone.
the only
I think
thing,
that
though,
letter
wait-
would have been drafted differently.
wait a
though.
minute.
Absolutely.
The only thing, though, is, and you got to assume that the person's not lying about this, but so I'm assuming a lot of the person that wrote that second letter. But in that second letter, he claims that he didn't read her letter at all. He says, I didn't even read your letter. I just know it was you touched my car.
Oh, to Peggy?
Yeah. He says in there that I didn't even. I'm just saying you have to believe him that he means that.
It's a chick, by the way.
The-
I think it's a
the
chick.
chick
that wrote-
Yeah, because
Okay.
I when I read the letter, it had the bubbly writing.
Yeah.
Dead giveaway for either Big E or
A
a
chick.
woman. Hey, handicap. First, never place your hands on my car again. Second, honey, you want the only one with struggles. You want pity, go to a one-leg support group. You messed with the wrong one. I don't care what your note said. Shove it.
See, if she didn't
Okay,
read the
okay,
note,
never
how would
mind.
she know she has one leg?
I just,
Yeah.
maybe you're wrong.
You need better reading comprehension.
I just took that
You
as.
need to spend less time in the math room,
You know what,
Sonny.
Jay? You know what, actually, Jay? And all the testing I always did when it came to fucking me for only that crap.
Yeah, you did really
Aced.
poorly on
No, I did really well
Really?
in reading. No, in reading comprehension, I was always very good.
the. Huh.
That
Define very good.
I was
Better than your other
better
shit.
than the average, I guess. That was always one of my best things was reading comprehension.
yeah,
Now,
I
maybe I'm-
doubt that.
Well, it doesn't matter what you say. It was.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm reading that wrong, but it just how I read that, it just sounded like
You're listening to it wrong.
okay, fine, whatever.
Clearly, she's
Says, I don't
pointing
care
out
what your
things
note
in the note.
says.
Yeah. She says, I don't care what your note says, but she clearly
Okay,
read what the
I
note
get you.
said.
You know what happened? I
Which
heard
is-
when I
I know it's the
you're
whole
hearing
reading
it-
comprehension.
no, no, it isn't the fucking whole reading conversation.
Listening comprehension.
I heard it the
fine.
second time. Fuck you guys. I heard it the second time, and I realized, yeah, he's hearing it this time. When
You would have been better off just saying my headphones blanked out for a second. That would have. I'd have said.
I don't care
you know,
what. No,
that happens
No,
every now and then.
no.
Finish your thought.
No, it was that. You know what? When I heard,
Park the bus, buddy.
fuck, man. When I read it the fucking second time, when you,
You
heard
didn't
it the
read
second,
it a first time.
When
How
I
could
heard
you
it
read
the-
it a second
when
time?
I heard it the second time, I realized I was worded. But when I first heard it, I thought it was worded in the way that she said, I didn't even read your letter.
Right. You didn't comprehend it properly the first time.
Maybe I wasn't fucking listening.
I don't know why you wouldn't. You're on
If
a
you
you're on a
Japanese
show.
flag that chair, I'm going to kill you, you son of a bitch. Have we reached that time? We've reached that time, haven't we?
I guess so.
No, you know what? No,
you
and
chuck that down on the ground.
my
I've never
reading-
seen you that high.
my reading comprehension always tested high.
Your
I don't care
listening
what.
comprehension not good.
Maybe so, but my reading comprehension always tested high.
Well,
So,
maybe we'll let you read the story next time,
maybe
so
we.
that we'll all be on the same page,
Okay.
so to speak.
It's a good idea. You want to start with this one, E?
I
Sure.
don't. My
You do the final
my
one.
reading out loud skills are not good.
Your what?
My reading aloud skills.
No, you can do it in your Specs voice. It'll be perfect.
I'm not doing it in my specs.
I don't think he'd like this story anyways, so we'll just do it. The Mars One
Oh yeah.
finalist, Dr. Joseph Roche is this guy's name. What are you fucking
I'm
about?
pissed
What's wrong?
about the earlier story still.
What? Which one?
Just because I thought I heard it a different way.
It's okay.
I thought I made a
Relax.
good point.
This guy's an actual PhD in physics and astrophysics. Recently revealed in an interview the absurd behind-the-scenes details of the organization, the Mars One project.
Mhm.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, Roche was one of 100 candidates selected to proceed to the next round of what will eventually become 24 astronauts trained to colonize Mars. They hope to pull this off by 2025, which seems impossible in 10 years.
Right.
Really? We're going to send 24 nobodies to Mars? I don't think so. As Roche tells it, however, the selection process for that one-way ticket is more of a popularity contest than a serious expedition. Here's a guy who's a physics major, PhD.
Mhm.
You know, the other people that you see interviewed are just like, yeah, it sounds pretty sweet to like go to Mars and shit. So I'm going to do it. And here's this actual like rocket scientist who's taking it seriously and
You
trying
think
to
that'd
go.
be some DNA that you want to present to the new colony, right? Smart guy, well
Yeah.
qualified to go,
Unless-
and they're going to colonize. They're going to populate this place. Isn't that the idea?
Yeah. But they can't really because they can't have sex with each other. What?
Well, what are they going to do then?
I don't
We're
know.
going to have just the 24 final people go
until
there.
they die. Yeah, they can't take the suit off, and they can't.
Well,
they
there's
can't
gotta
even
be
bang
some-
each other.
There's got to be some, I don't know, thing that you connect to the suit in order to link it up or something.
You're thinking. I like the way you're thinking. You couldn't go the rest of your life without having sex.
No, but I thought that was part of the point. I thought they were going to actually colonize the thing.
That's maybe it's all like, I don't know. Would you want to have a baby? It's not like there's doctors there in a hospital, and
Yeah, how do you push a baby out in a spacesuit?
yeah, and then what do you do with the baby? Spacesuit him for life? He didn't sign up for the Mars run. I mean, this
This is not well thought out.
it's got holes in it like crazy. When you join the Mars One community, which happens automatically if you applied as a candidate, they start giving you points. You get points for getting through each round of the selection process, but just an arbitrary number of points, not anything to do with ranking. And then the only way to get more points is to buy merchandise from Mars One or donate money to them.
No.
The initial trip to Mars is expected to cost $6 billion. And they're asking candidates to purchase what he describes as T-shirts, hoodies, and posters.
What?
As well as kindly donate 75% of their speaking fees back to the organization, which sounds like a scam to this guy. As for the selection process, remember that astronomical number of applicants, 202,000 people applied. The Mars One team has been feeding the media that number for a couple of years now. The actual number, according to this journalist who was with these guys interviewing people close to it for over a year, says 2,761 people.
Oh,
Is the actual number, not 202,000.
right.
He believes there is scant to no proof Mars One has any capability to make it real.
Wow, it's all a big scam.
Yeah, it's worth noting that for someone with a decent chance of making the final cut, Roche says he has never met anyone from the Mars One team in person. The closest was a 10-minute Skype interview with the CMO, Norbert Kraft. That means all the info they have collected on me is a crap video I made, an application form I filled out with mostly one-word answers, and then a 10-minute Skype interview.
Jeez.
Yeah. Sounds like they'll be there in 10 years, right? They're claiming they lost their reality TV deal too. It's supposed to be like reality TV following this group of douchebags to Mars. And that was supposed to bring in billions of dollars. They were thinking this is going to be 50 times what the Olympics are.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, this is not going to go well.
buying hoodies and like
T-shirts
what do
to
you
offset your
nickel and
$6
dime in it.
billion.
Yeah.
what are you gonna walk around in a hoodie that says God.
Hey, do you want to do a little Ask E?
Absolutely.
All right. Dogs and
peel
peanut
back
butter.
the onion a little bit more.
Dogs and peanut butter, E.
He'd do it,
I
You
have
would-
not done this for the record.
but you
But
would.
you would if we filmed it. You probably
no, I wouldn't
would.
do it if I filmed it.
You'd do it if we didn't film it though.
Yeah, probably.
No.
Well, you don't even know what it is.
We've got a dog, and we could probably find some peanut butter.
Oh, Beth, we can't. Nobody can tell Beth though. And you fucking narked us out with E before, so I don't. This is bullshit. No, I can't trust the audience right now.
Yeah.
They'll tell Beth. As much as Izzy would love that, enjoy that, even though it's E.
They have
Beth
to
would-
regain our trust, in other words.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we have to regain their trust. No, they have to regain our trust. Yeah.
because we saw what happened.
Yeah. And all it takes is one bad apple, right?
Yeah.
I mean, and that's all it was. One bad
To be
apple.
fair,
ruined that.
when it came to that, I had gone home that weekend.
What are you talking about?
My hair.
Oh no, that still stands. It's
What are you
getting worse,
talking
too.
about?
I'm talking about something else. I'm not going to go there again. It's uncomfortable for Jay and I.
What happened?
Yeah, what are you talking about your hair for, dude?
I don't have a bald
What's
spot
left
back
of
there.
it?
There. Okay.
All right. It's called denial.
Deny.
Yeah. So anyway,
It
this
ain't just a river in Egypt.
I wish E would have spit that line out because it would have been hilarious to hear.
It ain't just a river next to the Mississippi and or whatever.
Something about some country or some.
I am getting really bummed that I think one of my things that I'm going to be known for is missaying famous sayings.
Yeah. we should
Hey,
have
man.
you do a saying every day and just see how you do with
I
it.
know.
He's bummed about it.
Two in the hand is like a bird in the bush or something.
I
Two
know.
birds in the hand are worth a bushel of something.
A bushel is spoiled with two birds in it. Spoil the whole darn thing. Damn birds.
Anyway, I don't know why I said that. Go on, next. You. Funny story.
Ew.
All right.
Fuck.
My innocent, sweet, kind, funny, outgoing, well-adjusted, almost 13-year-old boy attended a sleepover. Wow,
Wow,
mom
why-
sounds proud, doesn't she?
Yeah, Jesus fuck.
Way
What
to be
your,
objective.
why is your boy so all
Innocent,
those things?
sweet, kind, funny, outgoing, and well-adjusted?
Well, who is well?
Certainly not because of a helicopter parent.
Right. I don't know. To me, I'd be very suspicious of anybody that would outwardly suggest that their son or daughter or is well adjusted. The idea that you'd be able to go out of your way to say that they are well adjusted seems stupid to me.
Well, these boys have a friendly, innocent, sweet dog. As a group, they covered their nipples in peanut butter and had the dog lick it off. He shared this with
What?
me in it was so funny kind of way. I'm a solo mom and was completely freaked. I said, "Don't do that again." He asked, "Why not?" I scrambled around. I just don't think it's a nice thing to do to the dog. And he's like, "That the dog loved the peanut butter." I said something about it being kind of a sexual thing, and I don't think he should do it anymore. And he seemed confused and embarrassed. I'm not sure how I should have handled it. Thoughts?
Why? What a weird family dynamic that he didn't mind that he would tell his. Why are they having the dog lick off their nipples?
I don't know, because they're, well, yeah, 12, 13,
Even
you'd think they would.
At this point, you'd at least know where. Like what?
Go, E.
If
What do you do?
if you're gonna have the dog lick like peanut
Would
butter,
you-
either
would
just
you-
off your hand or I mean, obviously, obvious would be the balls. Like, I mean, like, why would you be doing it on your nipples? Like,
I don't know. Would your kids come to you and say something? Could you see them coming to you and go,
I
"Dad,
could,
this is
yeah.
really?"
Yeah.
Because there's not a chance in hell I would ever go to my parents and say,
unless I guess in this kid's mind, it was so they were so just doing it as like a funny thing. The dog was licking peanut butter.
well, that's what it sounds like. But she's immediately thinking what everybody else. You think peanut butter dog. You think, oh my God, someone put it on their genitals and let the dog go to town on them.
Right.
It's just it's almost like a, what do they call it? On a wives' tale, but
Oh, urban legend.
urban legend. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. I certainly wouldn't say anything, but do you think that's disturbing or is just boys will be boys?
I think it's so weird to me that you'd have a sleepover and 3 or 4 guys would be sitting there and they take their shirts off and have the dog lick their nipples.
Dude, you had a sleepover at a NASCAR event where you ended up deep throating a hot dog out of your buddy's brawn.
We were also drunk and it was, 14-year-old kids sober. You're sitting,
You remember being a goofy little kid
Well, I didn't.
watching.
By the way,
Not
how many
really.
times has he told us he's been propositioned for gay sex? Twice, right?
Yeah, at least twice.
When I listened to that Drew and Mike clip, we mentioned there that this kid has been propositioned for gay sex, and we asked you on the air how many times, and you said at least 5.
Well,
Do you know what I'm talking about, E?
Yeah.
All right,
sounds like we've got 3
I
to go.
I don't think it was 5. I think it's been.
Do we want to hit 1 each day for the next 3 days, or how do you want to handle
I
this?
really don't think it's been 5. Thinking back on it, I think
It's your move.
I think I said.
We'll let you pick.
I believe it was 5.
I know I
or
said
more.
that, but I don't think I was actually right about that.
Oh, here we go. See,
Yeah.
him in numbers. I'm telling you, there's a lack of credibility here.
Yeah.
That just over and over, there's an exaggeration
I
or
think
some.
when- no, I
don't-
think when I
some
said-
weird thing going on a lot of times. He always
I
tries to
think-
twist shit around.
I think when
Yeah.
I said that on the show, actually, what I said was probably 5 because I've probably forgotten a few. Is what I said at the time.
You would think that would be such a memory.
Oh my God.
Some guy asked you if I
Like,
could
how many
suck
times
your
have you
dick.
been shot?
Yes.
Twice. I was shot twice. I
Well,
remember
no, I've
that.
I've had guys. No, but I've only had one guy. Well, I've only had 2 people ask to suck, give a blowjob. But I've
And
had.
then they asked you to
I've-
suck them off the
I
other
think
3
I've had a
times.
few times where people just hit on me. Like there was at that concert where the guy just kept hitting on me to the point where
Not sure we know about this one.
I think I've talked about it on this show already. So if there was at this, I'm pretty sure I've
What
already talked
concert?
I'm pretty sure I've already talked about it on this
Country
show.
show.
It was called this MSI group. I know in fact I know I've brought it up on this show before. But
Okay,
I'll just say the
MSI.
humorous.
Where's it happening?
It was in Grand Rapids, and it
Sounds
was
romantic.
it was actually the night of the pregnant hooker. But
This guy got you worked up into a frenzy. You had to go take it out on a
This
hooker.
was recent, dude.
no, it was back in
Oh, the double teaming of the hooker.
no.
was-
Yeah, that was recent.
Okay.
if
So what
it
color hot pants were you wearing?
You know what? You know the problem was is this MSI band is a very much a
You're not going to blame the band for this.
no,
are
no,
you?
no. But the fan base that goes to their shows are very
You're blaming the band.
Gay.
blah, blah, blah.
Yeah,
And-
it's the band's fault for drawing a gay
I- no,
audience.
I will
which is why
admit-
you were there.
I will admit that I was wearing a mohawk with fairy wings. and then,
Wait. I'm picturing Biggie wearing fairy wings. Wait,
Dude.
what had happened was is that
let that just sit for a second,
Okay.
folks. Just think about that for a second.
what had happened was as I had kind of stated earlier, because when I was talking about the pregnant hooker, this was the same night that what had happened was I was going up to this concert where it was me and this girl and her boyfriend. But like when we bought the concert tickets originally, she wasn't with this guy, and I was like super into this
that guy.
into this girl, and so we ended up going on this concert, kind of on the third wheel in their relationship, in their night. And the thing is, like, he's not only with her, but I want to be with her. So I'm fucking kind of depressed. And we have separate hotel rooms. And Michigan was playing Oregon that game. That was back when Michigan was starting to hit the peak where they lost and you were
Was that
still pissed.
That was the Crown Field game.
Maybe. They
Where
were
Lloyd said that the field was Crown.
Oh, yeah.
probably because it was at Oregon.
Yeah. Or
Kind of
Oregon.
getting off topic here, but go ahead.
No, so I was already drinking. I was drunk. We were getting ready to go to the show. And MSI is definitely very much known for people going there, kind of dressed kind of freaky. It's definitely like a thing where people will, the very punk, like they'll wear the big, furry boots or some kind of weird people. So we went to the mall, and I think we went to Spencer's or something. And so
Hot topic.
I picked up like these fairy wings, and I think I had some other like stuff around my
Gloves.
arms, maybe, or I don't know. So I was wearing, to be fair, like fairy wings and a mohawk that I was dyed green, I think. At
You
the
had
time.
your fuck me wings on, didn't you?
But this guy, all I remember,
Who should saunter up?
Bill.
all I remember is that this guy just kept talking to me. I was pretty drunk, but I think I've later now asked this girl that was with me if I had done stuff that she led to believe that this guy would have thought that. And
Other than wearing the fairy wings.
I think
Mhm.
she seemed to think that maybe I did have some stuff that I said. I don't know.
Suck your dick.
But I don't know. But I will
been your
say
voice,
I
I don't
kept
know.
telling him no. And I do know at one point it got to the point where he got verbally upset with me, suggesting that I was gay, and I
tease.
just wasn't ready to admit it, and I needed to freaking just acknowledge it. And he got
Seems like a theme.
He got mad at me.
Seems like a life theme almost.
So what? I don't care. I'm not gay. I don't care.
Right.
But so that happened. I'm trying to remember the other times, man, but I don't remember other times. I know there's been other times where guys have hit on me and or shown some sort of flattery.
Guy ever hit on you?
No.
Well, who cares? I don't care.
That one guy,
that Fabergé guy.
Fabergé guy kind of did, and he was bummed when I had a girlfriend. But has anyone ever asked me if to do this or that? No, never.
Well, it doesn't really make a difference.
Never been proposition, never. No. Jay, you?
No.
Although
Never.
actually,
Never.
Now this, I didn't get hit on this night, but it seems like if there was ever a night, I cannot believe, because this will not speak well to my heterosexual statements, but if there was ever a night that a guy should have hit on me, it should have been this. I've also seen MSI twice in Grand Rapids at the place. The first time was with this same chick, but it was not with another guy. And this was definitely in the process when I was trying to hook up with her. And we stayed in a room that night, but nothing happened. Blah, blah, blah. But after the show, the lead singer of the lead singer of this band, they will sign autographs every show until people are done. And sometimes he would even walk around. Like this time, he was actually walking around the floor of the venue. He wasn't even on the stage anymore. And he did have, he used to do this once in a while where he would have a sign that said $1 for kisses.
Oh, no.
And
Wait,
I did.
You paid him?
I did pay the $1 and got kissed Jimmy urine. I know.
Where did you kiss him?
I don't remember. It was not on the lips. I don't believe that.
It was balls. Yeah. Okay.
I believe it was on the cheek, but I don't remember.
Yeah.
Anyway, as far as like ask a question, what do I do if that was my kid?
Yeah, back to the peanut butter on the nipples.
Yeah. If my kid came in me and told him that, I don't know what I would. I'd probably just try to tell him not to do it. And when he asks why, I just try to avoid it and kind of mumble something and walk away.
Good. Jay, same.
No, I'd say, dude, don't do that. That's weird and creepy.
Yeah.
And they'd be like, well, why? And I'd be like, it's like creepy and sexual. You're trying to get a dog to lick stuff off your body. That's just weird. Don't do that again.
Yeah.
And if your friends want to do that again, tell them it's gross and don't do it.
Yeah. I like that answer better. This one's to you, Jay, more so than E. And then the last one is more to Gab, but I'll get your professional opinion as well.
Okay.
I'm a young mother to a wonderful pair of 6-year-old twins. They're both energetic, playful, and smart. Over the years, I have noticed I tend to favor Lily over Ronnie.
Oh,
yeah, it causes a pit of discomfort in my stomach even typing this, but I know that favoritism stems from Lily's appearance. Lily is an extraordinarily cute little girl and has been approached by many, many talent scouts.
Oh, Jesus.
Ronnie is beautiful in her own way. Ooh.
Oh, boy.
But she is more plain than Lily. My ex has noticed my favoritism and says it's shallow and disgusting. He suggested I seek guidance from a psychiatrist. Am I really such a terrible mother? I need professional help.
That's fucked up, man.
That is fucked up.
I mean, that is just fucked
you
up.
can't, honestly, with a straight face, tell me you don't love sweet pie just a hair more than anybody else.
No, it's different, man.
But that's a different
sweet pie.
But that's not. But you know what though? Maybe he feels like that because, and not to change it, Jay does or not. But I could see him feeling that way because it's a daughter and it's a little more of a. He loves his sons because there's his sons, but his daughter's the cute pie, the dog, she's the princess.
He nailed it. She's.
It's not because she's better looking than
right.
But if you had,
he doesn't like.
If you had to pick, which one are you taking? You only get one.
Shit.
You're taking the pie. You taking Russ? Manny?
It's funny, man, that it's like they say, they're all different, but you love them all the same. It's really
it's a cop out.
Oh,
Do you like Pants or Monster better?
I'll
Monster.
tell. Yeah, I like Tank better than Moose.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll admit that.
Yep.
Moose is a little sucker, man.
I love Tony just as much as I love Spooky, my old cat.
Yeah.
Spooky.
I don't
He's
know.
a black cat. My dead grandpa named him. Jay, thanks for making fun of my grandpa.
In my professional opinion, I've dabbled a little bit in the therapy department. I think
You are really a jack of all trades, aren't you?
I don't like to brag.
What goes on in that narcissistic head of yours?
I don't like to brag, but in my professional opinion, I think it's normal and healthy to favor certain kids over.
You know why?
Like obviously, one kid is going to be a little better looking. You got to think just by odds that the better looking kid that you have is probably going to advance further in life. And so you should play up their strengths. I'm not saying you need to kill the other one, but
you know what's even
I think it's normal to just
you know what's
pick
even more
one and run with it. You're hoping for the best.
You're
for
not
all
saying
of them,
like black burlap bag over their heads into a river.
No, absolutely not. I'm not a monster.
no, you know
Okay.
why this is even
Fair
more bullshit.
I'm just
that
saying
she's
who
crazy.
gets the bigger piece of chicken, or if you're gonna like take one to the movies, you've only got 2
Is it
tickets in the game.
Is it a decision on who's going to take care of you best when you're old? Is that the deal? Is that
Perhaps
the end game?
That could be your end game. I'm thinking about like given the whichever one's gonna clearly, and you're gonna have to wait till they're 6, 7, 8 years old where you really start to see them blossoming. Which one's gonna maybe do better in life just based on their
Right, make more money so that it somehow trickles to you in
very
some way.
good. So our end game really is the same. So I think it's only healthy and proper for you to kind of develop that. Go to the strengths.
Yeah, fuel the one that's going to get you further.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jay, you know
That's
what's
reasonable.
What's more bullshit about what this lady says, and why I think she does need more, definitely needs some else, is that not just she references that she likes one more than the other, but it clearly, and she's gotten, and if she hates it so much that it gives her a pain in her pit of her stomach, but in her question, in an anonymous question, a bottle in the or a message in a bottle, like you like to say,
Yeah.
that she still has to throw in, and she's gotten talent offers.
All right, Jay, honestly, you've got 3 kids. We'll just call them Brian, Eric, and what's your sister?
They fucking like them better than me. Trust me. I'm not stupid.
I was just going to say, Lauren, if you had
it goes
3 kids,
Brian, Lauren, Eric.
really?
Brian to
So
Eric.
your parents played favorites.
I think I got probably played favorites, but I'm saying if they chose who they like better right now, it would go Brian, Lauren, Eric.
Right now, how about the whole time?
I think
you ever in the league?
I was good probably until like 7.
Till you started bitching about, I don't want to go there. I want something better
I think
for dinner.
7
and
to 8.
just
I
bratty.
think 7 to 8. I was probably because I was the number one
You started
firstborn.
throwing in the back of the Astro van.
They don't
All
even know
downhill
about
from
that,
there.
but
Oh, we'll tell them when we get them on the phone. That will come out. We're going to clear a lot of things.
It's the first bullet
It's time to
point.
clean out your closet a little bit before you come waltzing out of it.
won't be walking out in any closets ever.
Anyway, so I think we're on the same page there.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
Yeah. Lastly, okay, so Gabs at Live Fit.
Right.
Live fit.
You almost corrected me. You
No,
son
I
of a bitch.
didn't. I
Yes,
knew
you
it.
did.
I knew he was going to throw it out.
So Gabs at Live Fit, and this lady is a personal trainer here. She recently started working with a well-known public figure. She pays me significantly more than my normal rate. The problem is that I am sure she has some form of an eating disorder. She's had 4 different trainers in the past year. She fired 3 because they insisted she get professional help, and 1 quit as he refused to continue her exercise regime. Having her as my client is amazing for my career, both financially and for future prospects. I know if I stop working with her, she's just going to find another trainer who will. My question is this unethical? I don't push her to the limits, and I try to steer her into moderate exercises.
What, she's bulimic? What's, I don't understand.
An eating disorder. So
Okay, so
either
you know
anorexic
she's-
and she's a public figure, and it's
And the
better
que-
for business.
The question is, do you continue to train her or
Yeah.
push her to a psychiatrist?
Yeah, because
Uh,
the other trainers,
Every time
We're like-
every time she says that, she obviously fires them. Every time they push her to what they really believe, she obviously just gets
Yeah.
rid of them.
so do you just bite your lip and go, whatever, I'll take the money and the prestige that comes with having a celebrity client?
Well, I think
I mean, what's she hiring you for? Is she hiring you to help her work out? Yeah,
be a trainer.
trainer fitness wise. You make comments about nutrition and stuff, but if she's not going to follow them, whatever, she's coming to you to train fitness wise.
Yeah. In my professional opinion, yeah, you take the money and, that's none of your business what she's doing on her time. When she's in your gym on your time, you work her out. If it kills her, so be it. Not your fault.
If
You-
it
you got a
kills
job to
her,
do.
that's not on the table. If it,
Well, if someone comes in
I
and they're
guess
a mess,
you need to know more about what this condition is. I guess I'm not completely
I
following
couldn't have
this.
been more clear. It's an eating disorder.
An eating disorder. Okay, so does that mean she's
Crystal clear.
she's dangerously thin and
I
not
think- I
able to
think-
work out, and it really is an issue.
Well, it sounds like she's working out like crazy. And it sounds like the trainers that have worked with her are noticing like, wait a minute, this just isn't healthy. I'm trying to help this person get healthy, and there's clearly something more going on here. Enough that 4 other trainers
Gotcha.
in a year are gone. My question is, what would Gab do if someone walked in and clearly had something going on that was off the normal chart?
Yeah, so you asked me. You didn't ask me what Gab would do.
Yeah. Well, I wanted your opinion, and
Yeah, Gab would try to get him help.
yeah, and so Gab would be on the shit list, fired as well. Number 5 for the year.
She wouldn't care.
Yeah, that's kind of what I thought you'd say.
That'd be a tough decision.
I
right
guess
now
I'd look at it like
with money being
dude.
tight, Jay.
no cable to be had.
Yeah, this bitch is paying my
mean-
cable bill.
Right. If this celebrity comes in, you guys could be having some free cable, or not free cable, but
What do we got for email?
We have some, but I know we're running long
you
here.
know what? Fucking
We're
stop.
running long, so I'll
I
get
know.
to
I'm
just a
sorry, dude. I
couple.
fucking stopped it, and I fucking my
It's okay.
fault. Sorry, that maybe should have been had off air.
Yeah,
Joe, yeah, that's probably one of those ones that you probably want to do off air. Joe writes in, can you guys please stop talking about soccer as if it's a tough sport? Soccer is a sport that you play because you are too young to play real sports. Don't act like there's any real combat there.
Dude, I've never played soccer, by the way, and that's bullshit.
yeah, it is. I hate
You know what?
soccer, and it's bullshit.
I don't care if anybody else likes soccer.
Yeah,
I love it, man. So yeah, keep to yourself on your other sports. I don't.
By
give
the
a
way,
shit.
real quick, Jay, it won't become a long story, but I haven't, I'm not by any means 24/7, but I have kept up since the World Cup and here and there watching a little bit of soccer here and there.
Yeah?
Like it actually
You like it a
did
little
keep
bit.
me. Yes.
really.
I can't say
surprised at that.
Like I don't know specific again, I'm not telling you specific games I've seen, but there
But
has
you'll
been
flip it on and
times
watch
when,
a little
yes,
bit.
there,
You can
it has
appreciate it.
yes, it has
That's
kept
good.
my interest
I'm
past freaking
shocked at that.
July.
There's
Yeah.
not enough. I mean, there as much action as there is in soccer. There's a whole lot of
You gotta understand.
passing.
But I like
and not
baseball. Baseball is one of my favorites.
I love baseball too. The reason I'm surprised he is someone who didn't grow up with soccer or watch much soccer. I think it'd be hard to just jump in
Fully
No, I'm
appreciate it.
to get into it.
You know what though, dude? Some of the things that I watch, I mean, I don't watch. I'm gonna get in. I don't watch it anymore because of some shit. But NASCAR. I had no problem watching NASCAR. I've
Yeah.
watched golf.
I like
so
golf
I mean,
too.
boring aspect doesn't, quote unquote, boring aspect doesn't get to me.
Rob writes in, gentlemen, and E. I have the perfect solution to ending this hard-fought debate over the size of Beth's breasts.
Well, Well,
I'll just bring my girlfriend, who measures women's sizes for her job, over to the Webster estate and have her measure. Don't worry, I'll hide her measuring tape so she has to use her hands.
I like it.
Only,
I was very clear last night. Beth is a whatever this size is.
mouth agape.
Whatever size.
I guess we could just measure your mouth.
Yeah, and my hand.
Here.
I've got my palm out too because I usually palm one and
then get on.
He looks to be about blow up doll, doesn't he?
So whatever size this is what size she is.
I don't know.
Only stipulation, says Rob, is no E. Also, as a proficient latcher, I'm glad to hear that the Beagle has perfected the craft as well.
Yeah, very
As
good.
always, love the show and goodbye. BUI Rob. Thanks, Rob.
Yeah, thank you, Rob.
Brenda writes in with some good news. Looks like Big E needs to ask his mom to take him to Nordstrom. Nordstrom has a Normcore.
no,
Oh no,
Son of a-
Normcore. What do you call that? Ad campaign?
that is.
Oh,
Absolutely.
see.
At the top of this thing, Normcore is expressed across the top of this ad. And
It's
then you've
over,
got-
E.
Yeah, dude.
It's over.
Let me see what they show though.
dude, this is equal. This is
I
so
wanna
douchey.
see.
This is as douchey as when the grunge thing hit the fucking runways in New
Yeah.
York.
Yep.
When all of a sudden people were
I don't
wearing
wear anything that-
Doc Martin
you know what?
boots and
It's now
No,
defined.
no,
It's
no,
not-
no. You know what though? If this is what
Ugh.
they're selling, I don't wear anything that looks like this.
it's the whole movement.
I don't think this is even. Well, to be honest, I'm gonna be. I think I do wear what Normcore is, and honestly, this is not a representative.
Let me see it. I didn't even see
I don't think. I'm serious. That's not even. I don't think what they're calling. If that's what Nordstrom thinks is Normcore, then I don't think they're right.
Well, it is Nordstrom, so everything's going to be expensive. It kind of goes against the whole Normcore movement, but
No, but I mean, what I wear, I'm talking about wearing like. You're talking about me wearing like a purple blouse because it's stupid, or wearing,
It's so intentional. It's hilarious.
Normcore. Oh, it's defined in a catalog, dude. Oh, it's over.
Nordstrom's.
I don't care.
You need distance from that, dude. Run. I'm telling you, run.
I'm not letting anything determine what I wear. I'll wear if
All
I
right.
change, I change. If I don't, I don't. It's all based on what I want
I'm
to wear.
telling you, dude. You would get
I don't
more
care.
further. You would further along your cause if you started wearing a tuxedo.
No, I
every day.
wouldn't. I mean, I would.
She
Like,
would. That would be so out of
for
character.
one, I don't have enough money for a tuxedo, and two, I don't even care whatever is.
We can
Go
figure
back,
out some
dude, go
Kickstarter
back
funds.
to the Mr. Peanut look. The monocle, we've got it sitting right there.
I'm just gonna
That would
wear
work.
whatever I want to wear. That's what I'm gonna wear.
Okay, don't tell him his business, Jay.
We'll tell you how you feel, E. That's sure to blow his lid.
yeah.
Last one, John writes in, hey, Fuqfases and the Fideler on the dry stalk. I feel the need to send in to defend. I feel the need to write in to defend Beth, since I did last time that asshole named Ron wrote in. He remembered his name.
That's funny.
I thought it was I Hate Bear.
Yeah.
Was who wrote in yesterday. But he called her a cunt last time, and now he needs to voice his I love to suck Panus and hate Vagine worthless effing opinion. Beth off the mic is better than the time you waste telling the retard over there to talk into the mic. I think his new name should be Into the Mic, you son of a bitch. It basically is.
Yeah.
Love you guys and Beth. And I think you should be his donation to get Beth some new bloomers and a new bra. Bloomers. Actually said the phrase bloomers
I know.
yesterday.
Well, that's dude. They were this big when she pulled them out of the box. It was like, what was I just grabbing handfuls? Was that what I was
just getting
like,
nervous?
I don't know.
I got to get out of here.
Like, you know how they catalog them in drawers? Like if you go to Victoria's Secret, they're like
You probably were in the right drawer and just grabbed
the
one.
color, was like, and just like, I want to get in and out.
Yeah.
So, but seeing her face when it was like, oh, cool, and then it's like, and it just kept going.
It was like the magician's handkerchief.
She just started laughing. She's like, who, pray tell, is supposed to fit into these?
Us.
Those were my. Yeah, those are for me. God damn.
We'll save the rest for tomorrow.
Okay, sounds good. And that'll do it for a Thursday edition. God, we're already at the Friday already.
Here we go.
Wow. Ready for the weekend. Have a good rest of the day, everybody. Make sure you go hit the Podcast Awards website, podcastawards.com. Vote for us in the comedy segment.
Yeah,
and
People's
also,
You should probably say it at the beginning of the show.
I know. And what was it? People's Choice in Comedy. I know
Yeah.
I should, but
Hey, before we go, I want to do one last email. But before I do that, hey, Detroitcast listeners, it's time to stroll on down to Zott Ford and Holly. Not only will you meet the hottest sales staff in Oakland County, but you can also take advantage of their spring cleaning sale. Zott Ford needs to broom the rest of its 2014 inventory, and it has to go now. They are stake deep, so you got to sell them cheap. Detroitcast listeners get 0% financing up to 72 months, or rebates and savings that total almost $10,000 on certain 2014 models. Hurry in and see our friends now. Zott Ford is at I-75 and exit 98. Get there. Yeah, one last, it's not an email, but it's a Facebook post that just came through from Tommy. He wants to know very quickly, is it gay or is it okay for a guy to cross his legs at the knee?
gay.
No, I don't think so. Like
Why?
this?
No, at the knee, dude. Like this.
Oh,
I know guys that do this, and it always
Oh,
weirds
I
me
can't
out. I
even-
don't know how people do that.
Yeah, it hurts my nuts.
It hurts my nuts.
My
Oh,
nuts
wow.
hurt right
yeah,
now.
I've never
I'll
sat
be
like
honest.
that.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
How does
this
a guy
this
do-
the ankle to knee,
Ankle to
absolutely
knee.
cool. Do it all the time, no
Yeah.
problem.
Yep.
Actually, nice little hip flexor stretch there.
Yeah.
If you lean into
Oh
it a
my
bit.
god, like this?
It's a permanent elbow rest too.
It's just I wouldn't say it's gay, but it's painful.
Oh no,
my
it's gay.
goodness,
This is a
dude.
womanly way to sit so that you
Yeah.
don't flash your vagina in a skirt.
That's a
For
good
a
point.
guy.
And then
God,
and then
dude.
look what happened to your hands.
You
Firmly
go
on
right,
the knee.
Yes.
Right on the knee.
How
Hi,
are you
Mike.
all? Yes.
I'm fine.
I can't even do that. My nuts are literally
Yeah.
being crushed.
No, my
Oh my
nuts are
God,
being
dude.
forced
Up
toward
to
the
your
back.
stomach.
Well,
That
mine are
hurts.
going backward now. So you gotta adjust. Yeah, maybe if you
You
adjust, can you get it
No,
just right?
I'll shoot one
Ow,
up into my
fuck.
stomach. Yeah, it's not good.
That hurts.
I swear I've
Oh,
seen you sit
shit.
like that from time to time.
Shut up.
I swear to God, I thought
Never
during the
have.
really.
Never.
Okay, I believe you, but I swear to God, I thought
I
I've
could-
seen you sit like
No,
that.
dude. Oh my! I did that for 1 second.
Yeah,
and
it hurts your
dude.
nut. Yeah, it's not.
Can you do
good.
the other way?
No,
Oh,
same,
that's even worse.
same thing.
Yeah,
God, there's just pressure there. It's not.
yeah. It's not meant to be for guys.
Yeah. So that's your answer, Tommy.
Yeah.
Uh,
Gay.
Hope you won your bet.
All right. Well, let's wrap it up there. We'll see you guys tomorrow for an all new Friday edition of the Detroit Cast.